We're about ready for the kickoff. We're just doing the last few bits of admin and checking on the sideline. No Coach Rooney on the commentary team this week, but we've got a guest appearance. Welcome to Mr. Howard Snaith.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
Well, we won't go into the reasons you're here.
We will, Mick.
Okay, we will. He's suspended for the game. Howard normally plays right tackle.
Yeah, right tackle, yeah.
For the Vikings, but unfortunately suspended for this game. So he has offered to help UKFL with the commentary, and he's very welcome. Good to see you here, mate.
Thank you.
Craig, what do you think? This game was very, very close last time. Do you see it being any different?
Yeah, I do see it being different for a number of reasons, which we'll go into. Not smallest of which is it's just started to rain, and as we were driving up here today, Mick, we had yellow weather warnings for torrential rain. Now, this East Kilbride offensive attack was missing their starting quarterback the last time these two met, and it was a very low-scoring affair. They've now got the starting quarterback back, playing Neil Bapty, number 13, but are we going to have an afternoon where the heavens open and a passing attack is actually going to be very difficult?
Okay. Howard, you played in the first game. It was a bit of a tough old one. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a good test. That's why you play football, really, is to play against the best teams in the division. I think it was quite evenly matched.
It certainly looked very close from the sideline.
Yeah, it was very close, and unfortunately came down to a very small margin at the end. We've obviously re-looked at the footage, and there's mistakes that we've made individually and collectively, and really hoping to put those right today and take the win.
Okay, well, as I say, we look like we're ready to go. We are going to be introducing other people into the commentary team as and when they're available. Spoonie has very kindly offered to do a couple of shifts, so he's just tidying up some domestic stuff, I think, because he's been coaching the juniors this morning. So looking forward to hearing his words of wisdom.
So it's actually managed to stay dry the whole morning, and just as they go out for the coin toss, it's really starting to rain quite heavily already. So Newcastle have won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so East Kilbride will take the opening return. They'll catch the ball going out left to right. There was a little bit of wind, but as this rain started, that's kind of died down, and I think the rain is going to keep this game close. Even if one team was perhaps pulling ahead of the other, the rain really does make the margin for error bigger and the chance of success a lot smaller. So expect to see East Kilbride come out passing. Their head coach has said that they're not going to stop throwing the ball because of the rain. They're just going to adjust to the rain. Against this cover two, looking to exploit the sidelines, looking to maybe go at the slot receivers. They do play around a lot with different size slots. They have some quite big guys who can block but can also catch, so it's going to be an intriguing affair. Now, Howard, this game was decided by 3 points last time.
Yeah.
Are we expecting a similarly close game today?
Well, it's interesting when you look at the East Kilbride offence. They've put up a lot of points in recent weeks. I think it was a testament to the Vikings defence how little they kept the score down.
But interestingly, in that time, the Vikings have had 2 shutouts.
Yeah, so it's going to be a tight game. I think one score could decide it.
Yeah, so just if you're not aware, East Kilbride Pirates currently sitting at 9-0, top of the division, and the Northumberland Vikings sitting at 7-1. Their only loss of the season so far to the Pirates by only 3 points. So the winner of this should take first place, provided if the Vikings win, they have to do it by more than 3 points. And if they win by 3 or fewer, then East Kilbride take the head-to-head. And obviously, if East Kilbride win, then they'll go 10-0 undefeated. Struan Bailey back and James Lightbody to return for EKP.
It's a low kick by Jacob Shotton.
Is that something that's deliberate, Howard? Is that, or was that a poor kick from Jacob? Does he plan to do that?
So East Kilbride come out straight away, no huddle.
Yeah, I think it's a tactical thing Jacob's done there. He's not allowed them a return to start the game off.
Okay. Well, in that case, he's done really well. Yeah.
And I think he's going to let the defence do the talking now, and hopefully they can get an early stop.
Number 3 stepping up, Sean Blitz. Give on the inside zone. Do see Burwell on the top, on the stop, in with Josh Tucker playing the middle backer. Picks up about 5 yards.
Looks like he picked up about 4 yards, and that play brings up second down for Kilbride. Second down and 5 from the 25.
Good early start from East Kilbride.
So interesting alignment here, Howard. We've got one of the safeties being underemployed with this trips formation. So first time we've seen that power play from the right guard and right tackle, pulling, kicking out.
Backy with a handoff to Meakin again. This time he picks up maybe 2.
This brings up 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2.
So quite a conservative start, Howard. They're trying to get their offensive linemen settled down for the rest of this game.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do here is assert the dominance in the run game. They're trying to get into a rhythm.
And now it's interesting to see Vikings haven't. There we go. The free safety's moved over a bit now. We've got 3 on 2 with the receivers on the right. Gives it again. And he stopped short. There's a late flag. So he stopped short. That would bring up 4th and 4. Came from the backfield. That bit maybe a holding on the offense.
I think it looks to be on the backside of the play. It looked like an outside zone type of play to the left.
Yeah, it's holding offense, so that'll be declined by Vikings, forcing the punt.
You would assume so.
I would.
Holding on 88, that's a Davey Fallon, one of the receivers. They'll march that ball back and get 10 yards.
Oh, that's unusual.
Down, but now it's 3rd and 12.
So they've given them another shot at 3rd down. Maybe they're trying to put pressure on them against their own goal line. Maybe see some sort of fumbled snap in this wet weather. So traditional spread, single back. Goes it on 2. It's a flag. Is that defensive offside? QB picks up a couple of blocks. And he's still going.
And the referee's down.
So we've got quite a bit going on there, Howard. We had the offense go on 2. I think we've got defensive offside. We had the QB pick up some great blocks. The referee's been hit, and he's been brought down on about a 6-yard line. So this brings us back to why did they give them a second opportunity on 3rd down? They could have given them 4th and 3, made them punt, have the ball now.
Yeah, because you've got to make East Kilbride make a tough decision there. If they're going to go for it on 4th down,
they're not going to go for it on 4th down, that close to their own goal
not
line
deep
in the
inside
west.
their own territory, no. So as interestingly there, as the
Okay, so we have a replay of the down, offsetting penalties, holding against the offense. I think it was offside on the defense, and that is really lucky for the Vikings there, Howard. I mean, a really strange decision to make them go for it again on 3rd down.
well, as the
That could be a get out of jail free there. That.
yeah, as the QB rolled out to the right there was a great block by it looked like number 28, Dougie.
I think there was more than one. There was about 3 of the receivers make some great downfield blocks.
And that's what you want from your receivers. You want them to be able to sustain blocks downfield.
Well, you see it picked them up over 80 yards.
Yeah, and unfortunately they're back to where they started. Hopefully the referee can continue. So early on we've seen the threat of the QB1 for East Kilbride, especially with the run game.
It's number 13, Neil Bapty. He's a veteran at this position. He wasn't playing last time these two teams met. I believe he got injured very early on in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And The thing with that is you could see he was experienced in that he was given that zone read. He kept it. His read was good.
Yeah.
But he didn't try to force anything in the run game. He was looking downfield for his blocks, which he got, which is great. But
And he
wasn't,
followed them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the sort of thing that it takes experience. It takes years running the system to get a quarterback who's got confidence to be able to do that and maybe not go at 100%, run the ball at 90% to actually get more gains because you can set up your blocks, etc.
Yeah. Well, there's no point in running faster than the guys who are blocking for you.
That is very true.
Especially when the offensive linemen are running downfield.
So let's just talk about the playoff race here, because we are getting towards the close of the season. And notwithstanding that 3-point buffer, the winner here goes through first place and has home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. The loser is going to travel away to Sandwell Steelers.
Yeah.
And that is a long bus journey, and it's also against a decent team. The second place in that conference hasn't been locked up. I believe it's Lancashire and Shropshire that are in the running. Have you seen much tape on either of those teams, or have you just looked at Sandwell? Were you part of the squad last year that played and beat that Sandwell team in the playoffs?
Yes, I was. I think deliberately as well as a team, we haven't looked at any footage from anyone outside of our division. Even doesn't matter what the result is today, we won't be looking at it until after the last game against Aberdeen.
Funny enough, the EKP coach has said exactly the same thing there.
Yeah.
So here we go, 3rd and 11 on their own 18. Throws underneath on the stick to number 6. Great grab.
Josh Tucker with the tackle. Looks like he's short.
So beautiful air raid player there of Y stick. Do you know that's the most commonly run play in the NFL, the Y stick? Put the back out on an arrow to try suck that outside linebacker out. The slot man sits in the inside of his zone at easy completion. Now going for it on 4th down. 4th and 2.
They tried to go
And
on
I think
2.
they try to call that hard count again to get them jump off. Could be a kick from this formation.
Josh Penny telling Connor Joyce to get
Yeah, and
back.
it's a quick kick.
It's a good decision, good business decision by Connor Joyce.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's wet, it's slippery, he was chasing the ball. Don't do anything stupid. You've got reasonable field position on your own 16. Last thing you want to do is turn the ball over when it's wet. That's nice, intelligent play there by East Kilbride. The quarterback was sent out to give a hard count.
Yeah.
Vikings defense have already jumped offside once. Trying to get them jump off again, that'll be enough for the first down. We saw the head coach, when they didn't jump, just said kick it. He took it from 5 yards deep. Doesn't have to get particularly a good kick because there's nobody back to return.
nobody back,
Caught
yeah.
the Vikings napping there a bit. The free safety should have been back, anticipating that, in my opinion.
You could hear Josh Penny telling Connor Joyce to get back there.
So here we go, new running back, number 44 for the Vikings, Matthew Thompson, Newcastle Raiders player. High snap, picks up, flushed out right,
It's a
and
good
there's a
pickup
flag
by
in the
Henry
backfield,
Bulmer.
probably from holding, offensive holding.
Looks like 2 flags on the field.
Yeah, from that position you're expecting offensive holding. When he's pushed out there, your blocking angle changes.
Especially-
Linemen
yeah.
get a bit handsy.
I don't know what you're talking about, Craig.
I'd like to see the back to line is going to just a little bit more. Maybe it's a second and 9 degrees, so I can see what the result of that.
So a big crowd here today. Good couple hundred people watching this match. There was a scrimmage earlier on today. Junior teams of Highland Wildcats playing the East Kilbride junior team. 9 aside after a cancelled match against Leeds Assassins, I think. Good to see a junior and youth programme flourishing here at East Kilbride.
I think that shows through into their adult team. When they're recruiting people through from a young age, it's allowing their team to be more competitive, and as we see today, they've got quite a big squad.
Oh yeah. So here we go, 1st and 20. In fact, that'd just be half distance. 1st and 18. Motion right. Blitz is coming, number 59 up the middle.
And there we go, Matty Thompson.
So we saw the motion right, the backside inside backer, number 49 went on the blitz because he no longer had any responsibility against that slot. He was unfortunate in the back, read it and went to a different hole, but that's intelligent play by number 59. That is Gordon Wallace. He was actually the man of the match last time these two teams met.
It's also a real clever play to come down and try and put the centre off his snap, showing the blitz early.
Yeah, put real pressure on there. Eden Fahey.
Yeah, Eden's playing centre today.
Motion left. No adjustment from the defense, playing straight cover 3. Blitz again. Flushed right. Sees a man downfield. He's open. Oh, that's a beautiful grab. Number 2 on the stop was there immediately. Brodie McDonald. We managed to hold on. Did you catch who that was?
Yeah, it was Ross, number 89.
That is a beautiful rollout and catch. He got hit immediately but secured the ball. Enough for the first down as well.
Seems to be a flag on the play.
Is it a repeat of a holding penalty, do you think?
Well, again, Henry he's rolled out of the pocket.
I think it was flushed out.
Well, yeah, he's been scrambling around there, and it looks like we're coming back.
Now I'm going to say this very early on. If you're going to win this game, mistakes like that you just cannot do. I mean, already in this game we've had a number of penalties, we've had long runs called back, we've had first downs stopped, from both sides.
So I think they've just signalled a block in the back there. So now we're getting real close to the goal line here.
I think what we've got though is let's see what down we're going to.
I think we're staying second.
So second and 20 on their own 6-yard line. Trips right. Vikings are just left in their linebackers. Throws the slant and that's... I mean, that EKP, number 27, the cornerback, played that fantastically. He ran it straight into number 6, who sat in his zone. There was no space to throw that. Brings up 3rd and 20. Number 27, Kerr Stewart, playing the slant beautifully. Got press on the outsides. We see a conversion to fade. Okay, we've got a smash. Oh, and he catches it.
That's a good grab.
That's beautiful. We had a smash concept with the inside slot running a corner.
And I think he's
the
got
outside
first down.
receiver running a hook. That is a real cover 3 beater. That, as I said before, the snap, the cornerbacks came up close. That was an ideal play to run against it because you had the free safety having to come over and try to cover the sideline.
It was
so
a
first down.
Fantastic grab by Jordan Matthews there.
Gives them a bit better field position now on their own 27-yard line.
Just a little bit more breathing room.
The rain has stopped, and the wind still stayed quite calm. Got stack on both sides. Give to Matty Thompson for about 3. Now I think that was an RPO, Howard, because the QB was looking at the stacked receivers as he was exchanging the ball. So straight away we can see that they're really testing what the coverage is against this cover 3 shell. The problem you find there is if the cornerback comes up and sits, then they've got the cornerback covering 2 guys in that stack.
Yeah.
You then got the decision to walk an outside linebacker, which thins out your box. You've got a 6-man box. You can hand it or run the zone read. Oh, this could be an interesting game. So the Vikings have widened and got a 42 box against a stack formation. Sending one. Number 8. So the Vikings are sending one of those backers each time. I think it's a zone blitz with a single guy drop into the middle. Number 59 dropped that time, and number 8 blitzed on the outside 8 on the C gap. I managed to get there. That's Glenn Davis. But just before the snap, both linebackers came up, which puts their offensive line under duress because they've got 6 guys to account for.
Yeah, it's something that's going to need to be adjusted for.
So once again, 3rd and long, 3rd and 16 for the Vikings. Spread formation. And we've got deep cover 2 for the Pirates.
And the cornerback's walking.
Now we've got a late flag coming in. Now that shows the inexperience of the QB here. He had a read on the box, but and he gave it. Now on a play-by-play basis, yes, if he's got his read to give it, you can understand that. But when it's 3rd and 16, you're not going to pick up 16 in a first down. Number 61, Matt Allison, called for a personal foul, face mask, automatic first down for the Vikings, and a 15-yard penalty.
I think early on we're seeing discipline's going to be key in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it not long ago about mistakes. And you look at this drive here, they've marched halfway down the pitch, but how many of them have been through good play and how many have been through penalties and mistakes? So trips right. Fumble. It's loose. Number 17 picks it up. He's got some blockers. And a late flag. Number 17 is Angus McIntosh. On that QB running back exchange, it was fumbled. Angus McIntosh picks it up, stays on his feet, and picks up about 10 yards.
Looks like they've waved the flags off.
So East Kilbride comes straight out with no huddle. Vikings need to line up in a hurry.
This is very good field position as well.
Yeah, they got the ball on about the 19.5-yard line.
I think that's another one where, as you were saying earlier about the ball being wet, seems to have slipped out.
There was a lot of pressure. Both those inside backers came on that one. There was 6-man pressure. Motion right.
Send the running back again.
Now we have a QB draw. Brought down by number 3, Josh Penny. Number 21, Connor Joyce in on the action. We have another late flag.
So I think number 3 is Ducey Burwell.
Sorry, my mistake.
Josh Penny looks to be wearing number 20 today.
So it's a hold in against the offense. That's going to drag them back. So what we had there was, we've already seen that motion, that flare motion from the back out of the backfield, and they're looking to see if one of those inside backers adjusts to that. The QB faked the pitch, and I think it was a power play with a pull-in guard that came round. A pin and pull, as it's called. The centre block down over the left guard's man. He pulled. It was a nice hole.
I think it's something that East Kilbride are going to try out quite often with the running back going out onto
And
the
I
swing.
think by scheme that should work, but unfortunately for them, the person that schemed up to stop it is number 3, Ducey Burwell, who reads the play quickly and covers the ground quickly.
Yeah.
So, you know, by scheme that's an intelligent play. It just so happens that he's quite an exceptional player at this level. Spread formation. 1st and 20.
And again, the
Motion
running back
again.
goes. And there
Swing
we go.
pass. It's met immediately by number 25, Josh Penny. So we've still got people arriving in the crowd. The stand's filling up. Good atmosphere, Howard. They've got a beer caravan. I like being in Scotland. I've already had a pint of heavy.
I think we could be losing our seats before long.
Second and 20, drops back.
That's time to throw.
So number 88 makes a beautiful catch, David Fallon. And we've seen him in a couple of games, especially against the Rams. He's quite a difficult thing because he's a great blocker, but he's also got good hands.
Yeah.
He's got quick enough feet at that slot that he could make the quick cuts.
Tackle was made by number 2, Richie Howe.
Motion left again. Flushed out left. Goes for the end zone. He's open.
Oh,
Just overthrows it. Number 25, Josh Penny, gambling there. He started running towards the quarterback and left his man, who'd sensibly gone to the back corner of the end zone, but the QB couldn't quite deliver it.
I think Paul Richardson, who's playing D-tackle today, did a good job there to put the quarterback under some pressure.
Number 1, he's been shifted from offensive line onto the defensive tackle today. So we have quads left, single right, empty backfield. Vikings should be taking a timeout here. They've got a 4v2. You cannot defend it 4v2.
Oh,
Jumped offside. I think one of the offensive linemen moved there. Now, this is the first time we've seen East Kilbride play around with all these different formations to try and put you under duress. They had a trips bunch and a single receiver on the left and a single on the right with empty backfield. Now, we know the QB can run as well, so you have to count for him.
yeah.
We only had 2 guys underneath, and the safety was pretty deep. You've got a 4v2 underneath on that throwing game, and the QB still went for the single receiver in the corner.
So what do you do here, 4th and 9? Do you go for the field goal, try and get some points on the board?
Well, it's pretty wet. It's be a slippery ball. I think they're gonna try and score. They're going for it on 4th. Interestingly, they're going out of a normal formation. I would have tried a similar formation because they had Newcastle beat.
To see it, yeah, see if they
No,
adjust.
they
to
had
it.
4v2. If
Yeah.
you can't make something happen on 4v2.
Yeah.
So motion to empty. Oh, now what we had there, it's intelligent play because we've got cover 2 from the Vikings defense. The weakness of cover 2 are the sidelines and the middle seam. They put the back out in motion, pump fake to him, and then one of the receivers ran a fade on the outside, and it was the job of the strong safety to come over the top. Now, he was a little bit late. If that pass had been better, he'd be in for the touchdown. And this is all born, Howard, from the fact that the QB can run it. If you thin out the box,
Yeah.
the QB runs it. We've already seen him doing a design draw. It's a true spread offense where they're just giving you more than you can defend by scheme.
This is why it's going to be a tougher task today than it was a few weeks
Oh
ago.
yeah,
when
but
the
it's
last
still
two teams
0-0.
played.
Vikings have the football. And I think both teams have made so many mistakes that neither of them deserves to be on top at the moment. Blitz from number 59. And manages to get him. That was beautiful play. Number 59 timed it. He didn't actually go until the snap. And he was totally untouched through the offensive line. I think the centre double teamed on one of the tackles because all game long he's been showing early. He's
Yeah.
blitzing. And that time he sat and waited until the snap.
Yes.
Centre came over, double teamed, and he was untouched.
It's real smart play.
Oh,
by
yeah.
number 59.
This the coaches' game. The coaches will have gone through this with the tape. Your best players are the guys that watch tape, and you can bet your money that number 59's been studying that tape, saying, "What can I do to gain that little advantage?"
I think the rain started up again.
Yeah. So the Vikings on their own 5-yard line at 2nd and long. So 2nd and 25 from their own 5. Vikings backing off. Gives on the inside zone, met immediately by number 59 again. And you can see already how it's why he won MVP last match. He was influential in that game and he's stamping his authority today. Number 8, his counterpart, has already had a sack. He's had a sack. I mean, the Vikings offensive line has to do something to stop this pressure from the 6-man front.
I think from East Kilbride's point of view, especially in this field position. You've just got to keep sending him.
Yeah, I mean the QB's he's not kept it yet. It's a zone read, and he's given it every time. So cover two, they're rotating down into a cover one man. Oh, it's flushed out. He's chased.
And he's gone.
Intelligent play.
Very good play by Henry Bulmer, quarterback.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with his decision making this season so far, Henry. He's not the sort that's made bad decisions. In situations like that, he could have done something stupid, given away a safety, perhaps fumbled the ball for a touchdown. He's run out, he's picked up a couple of yards, enough to punt from, but he's secured the football.
I had an interesting chat with him on the bus ride up here. He's been studying the
About
film.
football, I hope.
About football, yeah.
That's good to hear. I thought you were going to talk to me about timeshare and the amazing opportunities there are in Spain currently.
No, that's for the second half.
All right.
So, yeah, he's been studying the film quite a lot from the last game. He's looked at parts of his game that he made mistakes in, and he's looking to really improve on those today.
Tape don't lie. A good charge. It's not the best of kicks, but it's got great coverage. Who's that? Number 81, Dion Feather. So it wasn't the best of kicks, but it took a fortunate bounce, and because we had that great coverage, one thing the Vikings have done all season is they've put numbers down to cover that kick and stop the return. So the Pirates take it up on their own 38-yard line, which, considering where they punted from, that's a pretty good special teams play.
Yeah. Jacob Shotton's been pretty spot on with all of his punts so far this year.
So spread formation again. Vikings defense still playing this 43 cover 2 man shell. Sometimes in cover 4.
And we've got a pulling guard and a pulling tackle.
Yeah, we've got that power play. There's a flag in the backfield again. That's a beautifully executed play, but I think that's going to be pulled back for offensive holding, perhaps.
Another good covering tackle by Richie Howe there, number 2 for the Vikings.
And we saw them run this a lot against Vikings, a power play, and especially in the first quarter, the running backs were guilty of not following that tackle through the hole. They said they saw that on tape. They missed what there was an absolute certain touchdown because the back didn't follow them. They're certainly not making that mistake today.
So the left tackle, number 70 for East Kilbride, has come off what looks like a knee injury.
It's Jackson Christie. Now that I spoke to the offensive line coach before the match, he's got 8 healthy offensive linemen who practice week in, week out. So he said there's no drop off from the starting 5 to the backup 3.
It's a good position to be in.
Oh yeah, I'm all about them offensive line.
We've got a motion here.
Drops back.
He's flushed up the middle.
No, that looked legal. He grabbed him around the shoulder pad. It's number 58 in on the stop. Lee Johnson, a defensive end. So we'll put that down as a coverage sack because he looked downfield and there was nobody open. He didn't like what he see. You can tell he's experienced. He didn't try to force the ball and he tried to do something on the ground.
I think Lee's managed to get off the block of the right tackle. He's stuck his arm out and he's managed to stop the quarterback.
Yeah, well, they did a good job of collapsing the pocket. They got good pressure across the board. Backside blitz from number 3. Is that coming?
Well, they've tried another hard count.
Zone right, number 20 on the top, and another late flag. And from the position, it looks like it'll be against the offense.
So I'm not sure if the camera can show it, but 59 seems to be receiving some treatment on the sideline for East Kilbride. They'll obviously be hoping he is...
That's Gordon Wallace, that inside linebacker who's already had an effect on the game.
Yeah, they'll be hoping that he is fit enough to carry on.
Yeah,
it doesn't look too serious right now.
Looks like he's got a tight hamstring.
Holding on the defense.
So
on the offense, sorry.
So it brings up 2nd and 35.
All the way to the 18.
But we've seen East Kilbride, they can make up that kind of yardage in one play.
QB rolls left, looks downfield.
And he's managed to throw it away, and it's caught.
Number 21 on the stop. See who that was on the grab, was that number 88?
Well, that is a fantastic play.
If it was David Fallon on the grab.
He's managed to, even
Now the
though
QB was playing with fire there, throwing that ball as he was in the grass. That normally what happens is, as you're going backwards, you throw it high and short, and that's pick six.
yeah,
He was lucky there. That was not intelligent play. You've got to take the sack. I don't care what anyone says, Howard. Take the sack, protect the football.
it's easy to say while we're sat up here.
It is. If you're halfway to being sacked, take the sack. Okay, new formation. Trips left with a
Jobs back,
wing back on the right. Goes down the sideline.
just over the top of him. And again, another flag.
Now we've seen that before. They're attacking that sideline against the cover two, but it was cover two man. Number 25, Josh Penny, had decent coverage, and number 21, Connor Joyce, was over the top in a hurry.
Yeah, I think Josh Penny is known quite well to some of these East Kilbride players from his Stirling days.
Sterling University, not
Stirling.
his days that were Sterling, I'm thinking.
No, Stirling Day at Stirling University.
Call from the official is ineligible receiver
So,
downfield.
ineligible receiver downfield. In college rules, I think the offensive lineman's allowed no further than 3 yards downfield on a pass play.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what tends to happen is the play elongates, and you get a particularly antsy offensive lineman that sees a smaller linebacker, they think easy pickings and stray downfield. So East Kilbride shot themselves in the foot in that drive with penalty after penalty. They started at just near halfway.
And it's a high punt.
Doesn't catch it very cleanly. Bounces out at the Vikings 40.
Greg Atkinson with a kick.
So this is the best field position the Vikings have been in so far. They're going to pick the ball up on the 40-yard line.
Territory. Ball is spotted on the 42.
Now, are we going to see a game that comes down to not who does the best play, but who makes the fewest mistakes? Because at the moment, and I know the weather's particularly bad, it might not show on camera, it is very wet here, but all we've seen is mistakes from both sides.
Well, that's why before, when East Kilbride were down in the red zone, I wondered whether on fourth down they should have went for a field goal, because this game could come down to very fine
Oh
margins.
yeah, I mean it was 3-point margin last time. So spread formation from the gun. Number 21.
Nearly picked off.
Declan Kelly read it perfectly. The ball hit his hands. He just couldn't quite hold on to it.
And you have
Once
to
again,
say,
East Kilbride sent both inside backers. They're sending. They are bringing the heat. 6-man rush each time. The Vikings have to throw it in the hole here. They have to throw it over the middle because they've got man coverage underneath and nobody sat in that hole.
you have to think if he grabs that one, it's pick six.
Oh,
There's
definitely,
no one
definitely.
stopping him. So a let off for the Vikings there.
So the Pirates not showing pressure. Number 59 goes again. Is this a screen play? Some sort of... That looked to me like a broken play. None of the offensive linemen made a block.
I think what's happened there is he's fumbled the snap.
Quarterback, feeling the pressure, decides to throw it away.
He's rolled out to the right. There's 4 men chasing after him, and he's
Yeah, I
done
know,
the right thing. He's thrown it away.
but the offensive line didn't seem to make a block. It looks like a broken play where it was snapped and nobody realised it. I saw 4 East Kilbride Pirates straight through the line of scrimmage. So it brings up 3rd and 10.
It's a high snap.
Pressure from number 8 on the blitz. So the mistakes continue, Howard. But what looked like a broken play and then a bad snap. It's quite fortunate it was as long as it was because number 8 was on the blitz and he got through. If that had been hit the quarterback's hand, had been bobbled around at the 6 or 5 yard line of scrimmage, he might have jumped on that. So it brings up 4th and 24.
So we've gone from starting on the 42-yard line And the Vikings are now on the 28.
Number 6, Struan Bailey back to return. Good clean snap. Pressure.
It's a high punt.
That's a nice punt. He gets hold of it in a great chase. He's going to field it on the bounce. So number 81, Dion Feather, and number 21, Connor Joyce with a great chase.
That was great hustle shown by those two.
And that's put them back on their own 6-yard line. I mean, with the mistakes we've seen and the fumble snaps and the miscommunications, East Kilbride need to start getting their act together, because you cannot afford to do something stupid 6 yards from your own goal line. And this is one of the things that the shotgun's really not good for. Your quarterback is now put under duress. He's now in the end zone or stood on the end zone. Any sort of pressure.
But we have seen so far this quarterback is very good at escaping pressure.
Inside zone.
And again, he's handed the ball off.
So number 1, Paul Richardson, and number 58 on the stop, Lee Johnson. It's half a yard gain. So we're on the right hash, and we have a single receiver on the left with no help over the top. Will the QB look at him? Yeah. We've got a lead from the wingback, number 88. So he's a really useful player to have. Number 88, he plays slot. He lined up as an H back there, and he led through the hole. He put a great block on, but once again, the QB is going to look at that singled receiver and say, do I fancy a little go to number 89 on the sideline?
Oh, it looks like
Fraser McDonald.
Going trips to the left.
So a bunch left in trips, singled on the right. So we've gone single safety. We've got cover 1 at the back.
He's going to.
He's gone to the single man. Oh!
It's good covering by Connor Joyce there.
And number 20, Thomas McKean, had great coverage, man-to-man coverage, but the free safety, that's the first time we've really seen them go 1 high for the Vikings. They're normally a cover 2 team. So gambling a little bit more, putting a few guys on that trips bunch formation. So it brings up 4th down. Expect to see, if we don't see the punt team, we're going to see a hard count.
I think there's a flag on the play.
So we've got pass interference against Vikings. So the free safety, Connor Joyce, who came over the top, I think the referees are saying that he impeded the left arm of the intended receiver rather than going for the ball. So number 4 was the intended receiver, James Lightbody.
So that's real interesting, because that's taking it from...
Well, it's automatic first down.
Yeah, it's taking it from 4th and 5.
So once again, mistakes rather than great plays.
And now all of a sudden East Kilbride have got some breathing space down
Twins
here.
right with an H back on the left, number 88. David Fallon.
Again, that running back swing.
The QB keep, and it's got nothing up the middle.
Tucking that ball and deciding to go to roll, gets back to line of scrimmage and no more. Brings up a 2nd down.
So all season I've been watching this team, the Vikings team. This is the first time I've seen them do this. You've got 1-on-1, number 25 Josh Penny against number 89 Fraser McDonald with no help over the top. We've got cover 1 man. That brings to close the first quarter. We're still trying to. The Vikings are still trying to keep as many men in the box, because as we saw there, the QB kept it.
Yeah.
They're putting them under duress by putting that tailback out in the flats on the motion, but still running it.
I think what's happening here is they're backing Josh Penny's ability at corner with the 1-on-1.
Are we going to call him Revis Island, or will we leave that to the end of the game?
We'll
See how he's done.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
It's like
still out on
Daryl
that
Hayes, if you know who that is. You probably won't
one.
know
No,
who
I think
that
it's before my time.
LA Raiders cornerback. Helped them win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Back when we had leather helmets, Howard.
I'll take your word for it.
So 2nd and 10. Trips left with H back. Just left.
And a toss.
Pitch left. First time we've seen this play. Good pursuit, but number 89 gets a good block.
Again, he's read his blocks very well there. He's slowed down.
Well, number 89, Fraser McDonald, made that play because the Vikings defense had successfully strung him out, but the cornerback didn't get any outside container, was forced back, and all of the yardage gained on that was purely off the block of number 89. So number 20 was playing cornerback. Thomas McKean really got out-muscled on that play.
So we're going trips left from East Kilbride.
Yeah, no, on the left hash. Same look again, expect a different play, counter right.
And needs to be brought down. He's met by number 99, I think
So
that's Tom
number
McHale.
1, Paul Richardson is really... We had exactly the same look. We had to try tempt the defense towards the camera. Everybody stepped left on the offensive line except that pulling left guard and tackle that came around on the counter. But number 1, Paul Richardson, followed it beautifully and did enough to disrupt it in the backfield that other people could come in over the top. So really showing his worth there today. I think what front are we going through here? We've got a 30. So 4th and 5, the little short kick formation. Oh, breaks the tackle. Gets around the corner. And he's met by number 4. Great hit of James Lightbody, but that was beautiful play from the punt returner.
I think that was Jordan Matthews on the punt return there.
That's why you say to those kick chasers, break down. Because the guy catching the punt is always faster than you. That's why he's the punt returner.
Well, I was wondering whether he was actually going to return it there when the chase was so close.
But the reason he could put a move on is because the guy didn't break down.
Yeah.
If the guy's a punt returner, he's faster than you. That's why he's the punt returner. Break down. So Vikings take the ball with decent field position now on their own 42-yard line, 41-yard line. Drops back. Got smash concept again to number 89. Ooh.
That was a good ball by Henry, the quarterback.
Yeah, so the Pirates are playing man under with only cover 1. They're normally a cover 3 team. And against that smash concept where your slots run the corners and your outside guy runs a hook or some sort of in-breaking pattern, it's really difficult for that guy covering the slot to keep up. As we saw that he was open, it was just slightly overthrown.
I don't know whether it was overthrown. I think number 89 slowed down a little bit. I think he's misjudged the flight of the ball.
Okay, stack formation. Pirates widen, keep a 4-2 box. The cover 1. Blitz
Fumble.
again.
Let's see who's recovered the fumble.
Flag.
Snapping problems continue for the Vikings here. Ball.
Now at the moment, Howard, both the middle linebackers for the East Kilbride Pirates are dictating the line of scrimmage. When they come, the white jerseys are going backwards.
Yeah.
At some point, the offensive line coach for the Vikings has to say, you have to stop these guys. They're getting 2-3 yards in contact and it's collapsing the pocket. So I think the Vikings have recovered it. Interesting to see who the flag is. It's probably a personal foul after the fumble recovery.
Can't be a personal foul. Howard's here.
So
that's on number 70, Eden Fay.
So Vikings recovered a fumble. After the recovery, unsportsmanlike foul against...
Number 70, so it's Eden Fay.
So they keep the ball, but brings up 3rd and about 35.
Well, we've seen this position already this game, haven't we?
And once again, mistakes. I mean, both offenses have gone backwards in this game so far. Drops back, looks down the sideline.
Overthrown.
Well, the first match, Howard, was 8-5 with a lot of mistakes, a lot of penalties. know, it was a real defensive battle. And we said last time, both teams play spread, so both defenses are used to defending spread.
Yeah.
You know, the last one was a defensive battle, and what we've seen today is not so much a defensive battle, but offensive mistake fest. Now, at the moment, I would say that the Pirates' defense are dictating the game a bit more than the Vikings' defense, but no team deserves to be in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's very evenly matched so far, and I think 0-0 is probably the correct scoreline.
Will it come down to special teams? Rain start again, pretty heavy as well. Gets a good release, a great chase. Dick Carr downs the ball at the East Kilbride Pirates 36-yard line.
And the rain is really coming down now,
Yeah.
Craig.
Number 6, Struan Bailey was the returner, but do you know what? In a game full of mistakes, he's thinking, I'm not going to make a mistake. And it's really starting to chuck it down now. There's a yellow Met Office warning.
Perfect weather for football.
Especially when you sat in this lovely stand.
I'm having a great time.
So, slightly different formation again. We have we've got trips left, but what the inside slot is actually 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Runs the bubble option, but the QB keeps it. That's beautiful play. We've got inside zone right with an RPO to that backed off slot who was running a bubble. Also the option of the QB keeping it. So we've got 3 plays in one there. So same formation. Let's see if they run the same play but give it to a different person. So Jordan Matthews in at DB for the Vikings. Motion right. Goes back to pass. Rolls right. That is beautiful play by flag on the play. There's a little bit of afters there. Number 13, Neil Bapty. He wasn't flushed out, Howard. He sort of jogged out and immediately got his eyes downfield. Number 4 managed to match his direction. I'll call it a vector.
It's very calm.
James Lightbody.
Very calm and composed from the quarterback there as he's rolling out to the right. He's not panicking.
Yeah, and he's looking
slowing
downfield.
Down and he's completed a pass, but unfortunately the flag again is bringing them back.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing I'll say about Henry Bulmer. For somebody it's his first year starting in adult football, he's showed not quite as high a level of composure, but certainly composure beyond his experience. You know, not making mistakes, forced errors. But East Kilbride Pirates get forced back by another penalty. 2nd and 24. Drops back again. Mesh underneath. Or is that levels? Number 6, yep. It's a great air raid concept. We had levels. We had an outside release on both the receivers. We had one slot do the first half of a mesh and the other slot go about 7 yards deep. What you're forcing there, you're saying to the linebackers either step up and defend underneath, we'll throw it behind you, or drop back and we'll throw it underneath you. They stepped up, they threw it behind you. Number 6, in the rain, I might add. Lovely grab, Struan Bailey.
We've got 2 flags on the play again.
So legal motion against the receiver number 6. Offsetting penalties, replay the down.
Yeah, so we've got a roughing the passer call.
See, I would have thought roughing the passer would be a bigger penalty than illegal motion. Yet the offset. That's why I'm not a referee, Howard. Do you know what I'd say to the referee there? Okay, sir.
Thank you.
So we've got a wing left formation with number 88 on the line and slot back number 6 off the line on the left. Counter left, QB keeps it. Boom! Another flag. So we had another read play there. We had a give right read with the QB counter left. I mean, that was a big hit. Number 21 is slow to get up, Connor Joyce. But another flag in the backfield, which is probably holding.
Number 65.
Number 65, Keir Grummett, and I don't think that's his first holding penalty today.
So that's the second play in a row where East Kilbride have got some yards, they've started rolling down the field, and again the flags have pushed them back.
I mean, their offense is starting to execute pretty well, but they keep giving away flags.
If they can get their discipline sorted out, I think they're going to start to roll down the field a bit more.
I mean, they're playing around with a lot of different formations, a lot of different motions, put this defense under duress, who aren't really adjusting too much. Drops back, throws a slant underneath for all kinds of space. So number 25, Josh Penny, the cornerback's in. His knee was down on the catch. Bearing in mind this was second and a bus ride, cornerback who's on an island, just give him all sorts of space underneath. He's happy to let the 5-yard slant go because guess what? It's 3rd and 20 still. Just got to be careful because, you know, these receivers, when they get up ahead of steam, they're difficult to get to. If they make one cut in the open field, it can change direction in a hurry.
I think you can start to hear the frustration in the crowd here at the stop and start nature of the game now with all the penalty flags.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it looks like this Pirates offense, if they could stop hurting them, shooting themselves in the foot, could actually run away with this at the moment. Okay, looks like a jump from the defense, drops back, all kinds of time.
That's good play from Josh Penny there to disrupt the pass.
Yeah, I mean, the QB was wiser. He dropped back and he instantly looked for the fade on the left for number 13, who was well covered. That's Neil Bapty. You know the defense has jumped, you've got a free play, you try to throw the fade.
Well, you know it's coming back, so.
But once again, it comes down to that experience of the QB.
Yeah.
He thinks it's a free play, you know, if I get hit, sacked, it doesn't matter, I'm going to try to get the fade. Now, it just so happened that the cornerback was pretty deep coverage in man and he was never going to get beat on the fade. But the thing with the defensive line of the Vikings, they all sort of stopped there, so he was under no pressure, which you've got to get pressure on if you're going to try to throw a fade. So you've got to try and pressure him.
Let's see if they try the hard count again.
Now we've got same levels play. It's a great catch by number 6.
And there's a flag again on the play in the backfield.
Now, number 55, Josh Tucker, was practically hanging off that guy like a limpet, and he still managed to make the catch, but the flag was in the backfield. Crowd are calling for PI. I think he got his watch strap caught in his belt buckle there, Howard. It wasn't intentional. Howard's gone strangely quiet at the moment. I'm trying to be neutral here. Howard's anything but. And I think this could be against East Kilbride because the flag was in the backfield.
Yeah, and we've gone back.
Oh, East Kilbride are very fortunate not to get a defensive PI call to bring up the first down, but it brings up 3rd and 27. Once again, mistakes costing them on another great executed play.
Well, it's 3 plays in a row that seem to have made a lot of yards and have been brought back.
Drops back.
Low
Looks
snap.
underneath on the out. QB didn't set his feet there.
I think the snap was low and he's tried to get the ball out as quick as he can.
Go back to those fundamentals, Howard. Set your feet.
Well, that's why you do them every day.
I hope it sounds like I've said that phrase many times to quarterbacks over the years. Set your feet.
I can sense the frustration in your voice, Craig.
So punt team comes out. Good to see number 59's back on the pitch, Gordon Wallace. And we can see the head coach of this East Kilbride Pirates team is getting the offensive line in together and he's going to have a word with them because they've really hurt their team so far. Number 14, can't get close to it. Yeah, so the head coach is having a word with the East Kilbride Pirates offensive line because the number of holding penalties they've given away I mean, they could comfortably have scored a couple times in this first quarter and a half.
Yeah, they've cost their team. Be interesting, speaking of offensive lines, to see if there's been any adjustments made for the Vikings. There's a lot of experience on that offensive line, so I think they just need to get their heads together and sort out what's going on. They need to stop the blitz from the middle linebacker. They need to stop the penetration. And if they can give Henry some time and space in the pocket, I think...
Well, I mean, they're running inside zone read. If those linebackers are showing blitz, it means you've only got one guy second level to cover the running back and the quarterback. So stack formation, cover one man from EKP. Blitz from 59 again.
So the running back's met by 2 players there as soon as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I mean, at the moment, Howard, what I can see is it's reasonably evenly matched between both lines, although I'd say East Kilbride defensive line's getting the better of it on the initial push. But the second level surge from the EKP from number 8 and number 59 is just smashing that offensive line back, and there's no holes at all in the middle. Now, at some point, the QB's got to keep it and run. Trips right. 59 again. Drops back, looks right, throws it underneath, clean grab. Number 89.
It's a nice truck there by Ross
Conley. So picks up about 7, bringing 3rd and 6.
Shows the variety in the Vikings wide receiver core there. We were talking before about Jordan Matthews and how elusive he is and his speed. But Ross there's used his advantage, which is his strength, and he's gone over the top of the tackle.
So you've got twins left, tight end right. .59 again. Going long, it's underthrown. Number 24 read it perfectly. Aaron Callaghan. I mean, the intent was there, but the free safety was over the top. The QB underthrew it while he was on the roll.
It's a real difficult throw there because Jacob Shotton has 2 guys around him, 1 in front, 1 behind. So that throw has to be right on the money, so Jacob Shotton's the only person.
But you've got to think, if he's got enough time to roll out like that, set up and look downfield, he's only got 6 yards to pick up the first down. Why isn't he tucking the ball and running? At the moment, we've not seen the quarterback for the Vikings run the ball once. And to me, it looks like East Kilbride are gambling both those middle backers with inside pressure. You know, could he have made 6 yards if he'd headed for the sideline?
Well, we've seen that East Kilbride have done that, and they've had some joy from it.
It's a good rush from number 4. Great coverage again and a great bounce.
Oh, number 6 needs to be careful. He's very close to the ball.
So number 4, James Lightbody, with good pressure. He aimed high, just in front of the ball. Just didn't quite get there, but you know, he's only a quarter of a yard off.
He's knocking on the door.
So the score is still 0-0. Got to be late in the second quarter. East Kilbride received the ball in the first half, which means the Vikings will get it in the second. So start from their own 7-yard line.
I think we're going to see the quarterback keeping the ball here.
No, he's going to hand it right.
And there we go, straight into the pile in the middle. Good play from the Vikings defensive line.
Now, number 13, Jordan Hall, who's playing I think he's playing Will. He's quite a small guy for that second level, and I think they're trying to run it at him from scheme. Now, defensive line swallowed that up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but if he
was one of the players that came over from Northumberland Lightning.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's done exceptionally well since coming over, and he deserves his
got wing left, trips right.
There's motion there, and a pitch to the right.
Pitches right. So number 57 on the stop.
Looks like he's gained 2 yards.
Jordan Alton. They're just getting there. Is that final?
That was Jonathan Alton there.
So we'll just feed you some scores from other games in the division. Glasgow Tigers 40, Gateshead Senators 0 in the fourth quarter. In the NFC 1 South, Sandwell Steelers against Shropshire Revolution 0-0 at half time. No one saw that coming.
Sounds like
Chester Romans 60, Doncaster Mustangs 0 in the third. So the Sandwell Steelers, I wonder if they're playing their second string or Shropshire just stepped up and surprised everybody. 3rd and 5. Throws it on the flare, that's miles off the target.
I think that's definitely something we weren't expecting. Sandwell's offence has averaged 50 points a game this season.
Yeah, I mean that's a great half of football from Shropshire Revolution, who got promoted from Div 2 a couple of years ago. That's a good programme. They've built over the years. Got a really solid programme. Have just got better year on year. But nobody expected that 0-0 at half time. I mean, at the moment, Sandwell are still de facto number 1 seeds in that conference. But if they lose, then potentially the winner of this conference could actually have home field advantage all the way. So punt again, number 14 goes for it, catches it cleanly, breaks the tackle.
So it looks like
Jordan Matthews again catches it on the bounce and beats the tackle, picks up an extra 6, which in a game like this could be the difference. As I say, Howard, if, and it's a big if Sandwell were to lose, they could go 9-1. Now it comes down to points conceded, and either of these teams potentially could go through as the number 1 seed in the north, which is home field all the way. Because at the moment, if Sandwell win, they've got better points conceded than East Kilbride do.
Especially with this game being so close as well. It's going to do the points against.
So trips
huge
left.
favours.
Motion. Oh, that's a bad snap. Number 8 on the chase.
Snapping rules continuing for the Vikings. Ball snapped over the head of the QB for a 17-yard loss.
So the Vikings have lost 17 yards there for a high snap.
Ball is now spotted on.
And I mean, they had it inside the East Kilbride Pirates.
33
Well, on their 40-yard line, if you could nick a score here from, quite frankly,
just before the half.
Yeah. But mistakes, execution, game of inches. In that case, it was a game of a few feet over his head.
Makes the six yards that the punt returner got look not very good, does it?
59 Sean Blitz again, picked up this time. And that's the defensive tackle up against the right guard of the Vikings. Just got too much pressure on that AB gap.
So real interesting there. Looks like the running back has cut the defensive end, but there's still 3 guys around the quarterback to take him down inside the pocket.
Yeah, the defensive line. Now, East Kilbride said last time they were missing a few defensive linemen, especially defensive tackles. And I know, speaking to some of the Senators players, they say the defensive tackles of this defense are particularly strong.
Yeah.
And to have these guys back, we can see the difference it's making on that line of scrimmage. So at the moment, I think they're winning the battle.
So I know from the last game their starting defensive end is now playing in Germany for the East Kilbride.
For the Potsdam Royals.
So I believe.
Drops back, looks left.
Oh. And I
In
think
and out of the hands of number 81, Dion Feather.
I think what's happened there is
So 5 minutes 48 left in the quarters. We see number 17 for East Kilbride, Angus McIntosh, hobble off. I think he's got a leg injury.
I think what happened there with that pass, Craig, is as he's jumped up to catch the ball, he's assumed he's going to catch it. He's thinking about what he's going to do next.
He's taking his eye off the ball.
He's taking his eye off the ball. And
Are you saying this just to upset me as a coach?
Going back to those fundamentals.
Oh my word. So number 6, Struan Bailey back to return. It is raining again, although not particularly heavily. High snap. Just gets it away. Once again, a great chase.
And again, the roll is very good
So
on
Dick
the punt.
Carr and Connor Joyce again stop any sort of return. It wasn't a particularly good kick, but it gives them good field position. East Kilbride take over on their own 28-yard line.
So we've got roughly 5 minutes left. So let's see if East Kilbride can come out, cut the mistakes out, and come away with a score here.
Yeah, I mean, if they can cut the mistakes out, their offense has looked the best out of the two sides. And I think that's what we said last game as well. We said the Vikings had shown a better defensive play and East Kilbride had shown a better offensive play. And I think that holds true for today.
So far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got trips left, single right out of the shotgun. We're on the left hash.
Again, we're going trips into the narrow side of the field.
They do that a lot. It's got motion to quads, flushed right,
He rolls away.
throws on the comeback.
And again, Josh Penny there, stopping the reception.
Intended target was Liam McClory, number 3, who'd done the comeback. Seen his QB flushed out.
Again, real calm composure by the quarterback there. He's been rushed out of the pocket by 3 defensive linemen.
Yeah.
He's calm, collected, he's thrown the ball well, and unfortunately the receiver hasn't been able to collect it in.
So we've got no receiver on the right with an H back on the right, trips left.
A low snap, handoff to the running back, going up the middle and stopped by the defensive line.
Yeah, number 99 and made initial backside pursuit, and then Burwell and Tucker in on the stop.
I think his rugby league experience is coming in there, Josh Tucker.
Now it's interesting to see that the East Kilbride Pirates, even though they had trips, they had 8 men in the box in the running game, which you would expect the Vikings to walk somebody in extra, because they were saying beforehand they can run against a 7-man box. It's a 43 front, it's a 7-man box, but they put 7 guys in the box.
Yeah.
You know, and if they can read one of the guys with the quarterback, you've got 8 guys, even though you've got a trips formation. And that's really good work with the formation here, because you've still got numbers, even though it's a 7-man box. Similar play left. Hurdles a tackle. Eventually dragged down by the safety, number 21, Connor Joyce. Number 13 was hurdled, Jordan Hall. Brings up 4th and 4.
What do you do here? Do you go for it?
No, you punt it, not inside your own half, because if you put them back on their own 10-yard line, the chance of them scoring is almost nil. If you've done something stupid and they get the ball over with 35 yards to go, there's a chance they can score on one play.
The Vikings offense hasn't really been at it today. So
I know, but you
far.
only need one play from 35 yards. Nice punt.
And it's going to
Goes
go out
for
of
the
bounds.
sideline. That's intelligent. Number 14's not afraid to pick it up and run, so they're just taking away that option.
They've taken away the return option there. It's a very clever play by East Kilbride. And again, it's not a big punt, but it's decent enough and puts them back into their own.
Yeah, I mean, it's either your 30-yard line or their 30-yard
Yeah.
line. So now they've got 70 yards to go before they score.
They've flipped the field essentially.
So start raining heavily again, and this is really going to. I'd say that East Kilbride have coped with a rain in their passing game a lot better than the Vikings have so far.
Well, I'm not sure if the rain has been a factor in the Vikings passing game compared to the quarterback not having as much time in the pocket as he's used to.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So trips right, singled left.
So Eden Faye's still in at centre. I think he's a very good snapper of the ball normally. I'm not sure if the ball's just slippy, so let's see if he can get his snap down. There we go, it's a good snap.
Inside give,
On and
number
off.
61, a defensive tackle. What a hit up the middle. Matt Allison read it perfectly, got his shoulders square. Beautiful. I'm all about those big guys, Howard.
Brought down shy of the line of scrimmage. -1 yard on that.
So brings up 2nd and 11.
Who would want to be a running back when you're getting hit like that?
I'd take Earl Campbell. If I was Earl Campbell, I'd take that.
Again, great play by the East Kilbride defensive line. And just as the Vikings offensive line, when they look to have got the D-line sorted, the linebackers come down, put even more penetration on.
Goes underneath to number 89. Number 15, Marcus Galante on the stop. Nice open field tackle, nothing stupid, wrapped up, made sure he didn't miss.
Again, Ross Connolly's been targeted there by Henry, the quarterback, so looks to be the go-to guy for the Vikings right now.
Well, I think what's happening is that East Kilbride are giving up the underneath, because you don't give up long explosive plays on the underneath.
Yeah.
And especially in this wet weather, you're saying to the offense, can you consistently complete that pass when you're under pressure from the D-line?
So here we go, we've got 3rd and about 7.
Okay, I think that's offside. So I was just about to remark, there's a lot of noise coming from this crowd and from the sideline. The
That
right
looks to
guard, I
me-
think, went early.
Yeah, it looks to me number 77, Matt Carney. There we go, it's confirmation of that. Again, discipline.
That's the first time we've heard noise from the sideline. It clearly had an effect. It's got a decent crowd here today. It's a beautiful facility at JHA Stadium.
Bit of a mouthful there.
I know. We're trying to remember what it stands for now.
I'll leave that one to
Could be
you.
Glasgow Hamilton Aloysius. I think that middle H is incorrect. So it brings up 3rd and 11. Cover 2 now from East Kilbride. They're just gone prevent on the deep pass.
Again, there's a lot of noise here from the sideline. Let's see if it affects the offensive line.
So they started off it. No, it's a high snap.
And again, looks to be another false start. This time the right tackle, number 72.
Yeah, so East Kilbride showed cover 2, but just before the snap, they walked that second safety down to leave them with a cover 1 man, trying to confuse this fairly inexperienced QB of the Vikings. I mean, we've been talking about home field advantage. This is what it means. You get a crowd, you get a bit of noise.
And more importantly, you don't have to travel.
Yeah.
That is, especially if you were to travel from East Kilbride down to say play Sandwell Steelers down Birmingham, that's a long drive. Even it's long enough for the Vikings to go down there.
Yeah.
So here we go. We've gone from 3rd and 7
3rd and 17.
to 3rd and
2
17.
false starts. Are they going to run the smash concept? Is the free safety going to pick it up? Cornerback drops. Yeah, so we've got bail coverage. Flushed out the pocket.
Oh, it's
Oh,
good
it's a
reception
beautiful throw and
by
catch.
number 14, Jordan Matthews.
Just not quite enough for the first down, but Henry Bulmer was put under all sorts of pressure, rolled out, sort of reversed himself. Initially went right, reversed left.
He's come out to the right, number 8, blitzed around the edge.
Number 21, Declan Kelly, on the outside linebacker, was put in a bind. Did he have the green light to come up? He hesitated a bit, which gave him enough time to throw it over the top of him. What normally happens is if you're playing a zone underneath like that, the play side linebacker will get a green light. He can step up to the quarterback and everybody else shifts their zone over to cover him. But he was caught in that bind. Exciting stuff.
So
Now,
is
this
there
goes
a
in,
flag here?
if this goes in 0-0, who do you think's the happiest with that score? Now I'm going to say Vikings because I think the Pirates' offense have made some plays and continuously being called back with holding.
Yeah, I think looking at some of the explosive players that East Kilbride have put on the field here, only to be brought back through ill discipline, I think the Vikings have definitely got to be the happier of the two teams.
Yeah.
And at 0-0 if it stays that way at half time.
And then hopefully we'll see in the second half the adjustments. And I'm going to call it the. So the Pirates called a timeout. And I think maybe it was some sort of illegal substitution or something like that. So 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this first half. The score is still 0-0 at GHA Stadium.
So the Pirates
Still raining as well.
The Pirates are going to get a chance here to put a score on the board. So let's see, Jacob Shotton needs to try and push them back as far as possible here.
Yeah, I mean, I would be looking to punt it towards the sideline to eliminate a return. So Lowe's bobbled, gets it away.
It's a good
No,
punt.
once again, it's a great chase. Number 21, Connor Joyce, and number 81 on the chase.
Dion Feather.
And no return whatsoever, so puts them all the way back on their own 17.5-yard line. Now,
So one
the
more
Pirates-
shift from the Vikings defense.
Yeah, I mean,
here
the
is
Pirates
needed.
have the wind behind the back. It is raining.
Oh, hold on, there's some flags here.
And that's probably number 1, Paul Richardson, for the Vikings, having a chat with number 4, James Lightbody and potentially number 61, Matt Allison of the East Kilbride Pirates.
So it's on number 4 for East Kilbride.
So James Lightbody getting involved with a bit of chat after the play with Paul Richardson.
It's unusual for Paul Richardson to be chatting to some of the opposition players there.
You said that, I did not, Howard.
Not sure if my sarcasm came across on that.
Because the ball's inside the 20-yard line.
Paul is very good at what he does. He sometimes oversteps the mark.
Occasionally. But people in glass houses, Howard.
They're spotting the ball on the 9-yard line.
So once again, East Kilbride have got the ball back. Half-distance penalty for making your mouth run.
Well,
Ill discipline have
Yeah.
absolutely killed this Pirates team so far in this half.
I think number 4, he'll be disappointed in himself, but I think he comes back out and he'll show what he can
trips
do on
left,
the field.
single right from the gun. Back goes right again. Sorry,
Lowish
left,
snap.
flushed out
Oh.
through the hands of the D end.
Good hit by number 25, Josh Penny.
Now number 3 on the comeback, Liam McClory. Really intelligent play. Got his body behind that catch. Held on to it. Managed to keep his feet in bounds. Was trying to look to get something after the catch. Josh Penny came downhill. Delivered a blow.
What's real interesting there, the quarterback has nearly been sacked in his own end zone. If the defensive end can get a hold of him there, that's a safety for the Vikings.
So we've got H-back left with trips right to the narrow side. QB keep left.
Running back's lead blocking. And he's brought down there by number 55.
So Josh Tucker, middle backer, great pursuit. Stops it for about 3. But most importantly, it's cost them another timeout. Now what
So
they were
they've
trying
got, they've got one timeout remaining.
Yeah. What they're trying to do is get that Vikings defense to shift to their left because they had trips over
Yeah.
on the narrow side and exploit the outside. I'm not sure if that was it.
So it looks like Paul Richardson's gone off and Matt Carney has come on to play some D-line. Well, Tom McHale looks like he is also going off. So that's Matthew Carney and Robbie Brumpton coming into the middle of the line.
So just see a little bit of urgency coming into this Pirates sideline now as time's running out in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're putting 2 very experienced guys in the middle. This is to try and
Stop any sort of
Stop
counter
any
or
sort of,
inside
yeah.
run. Well, Pirates have gone to a 7-man box, so they can run the ball. Now, the Vikings want to keep guys back to cover the pass,
Yeah.
so they need a bit more weight in those A-gaps.
again low snap handoff to the running
And
back.
there we go, it's all gummed up, and who should be there? Number 77 initially.
And it's a great hit there. Brought him down.
So
There's a flag on the play.
immediate penetration of both the A-gaps. Number 77, Matt Carney, getting his hands there, but also the other A-gap defender
Yeah.
managed to get the offensive line going
Yeah,
backwards, which killed the play.
Number 53, Robbie Brumpton.
So it causes the offensive line to get another holding penalty. That's another 10 yards back. That's going to bring up 2nd and 16. So holding penalties declined because it was a loss of 3 on the tackle, bringing up 3rd and 10 rather than a 2nd down.
Yeah.
Because with time running out, you don't want to give them too many bites of the cherry.
So what do you do here? So what do you do here? Do you go deep?
Yeah, you throw the football. It's 3rd and 10. Of course you go deep.
Oh,
We've
they're
got a
going for
hard count. So we've got singled right.
Oh,
Is that a delay a game, perhaps?
Flag down on the far sideline. Plays whistle set.
That could be delay a game. QB's itching to throw against Josh Penny, singled out with no help over the top. So number 3,
So that's
the
encroachment.
wide receiver was lined up in the neutral zone. I have not seen that in a while. Why did he not ask the referee, sorry, the side judge, if he was on the line or not? Fundamentals, Howard. I don't know why I look at you when I say that. So we're going to spread formation and got to throw the football. Empty right with trips right, twins left. Burwell
Looks like
looking to
DC
show
Burwell's
blitz.
showing blitz,
Drops
but he's
back,
dropped
looks
back.
right. Throws a slant on the outside.
And there we go. He's avoided the first tackle very well, the receiver there.
Well, once again, it's intelligent play from Josh Penny. Just backed off and said you can complete anything you want underneath. I trust myself to make the open field tackle and you'll be short at first down. So it brings up fourth down. They've got to be careful here because depending on how much time's left, yeah, they're going to punt the ball.
They're going to punt it, yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to play field position, punt the ball, say score from 80 yards out.
We've got the official signaling for
18 seconds left in the half, and the East Kilbride Pirates punt team comes out.
So the Vikings will get a chance as long as they recover this punt. They will
Need
get
a good
chance.
snap. Got David Fallon, number 88, is the up back. We know he can bang as well as having decent hands. I feel like I disrespected him earlier on in the season. He's proved me wrong on every occasion. I've got a lot of love for the big guys, Howard. So Vikings showing a rush here. Could be the speed of play. It's a good snap. And it's a short kick. It goes out just inside the Pirates' half. And that's not going to stop that. I mean, that could not have gone worse. Other than a fumbled snap, the Pirates could not have done worse because it's going to give the Vikings 2 shots at the end zone here.
Well, there goes Matthew Carney's chance at ever being a punt returner. He tried to catch that one on the sideline, went straight through his hands. I think he should stick to the offensive line.
So can't have taken more than a few seconds off the clock. We could have enough time for 2 plays from the Vikings. Now, be amazed if the Pirates come out and cover 1.
So the Pirates have got to know the Vikings are going to have to pass the ball here.
Yeah, we've got cover.
They've got 45 yards to go.
We've got cover 2 from the Pirates. It doesn't look like they're going to send a blitz. You've got 1 man going, a 5-man rush. Goes down the middle. Number 89 is in space. And that was closed down in a hurry. And number 59, the middle linebacker, Gordon Wallace, again, has dropped all the way back. I mean, the free safety was coming, but 59, Gordon Wallace. Is he trying to get a double MVP award for this fixture?
I think the Vikings are very lucky that ball wasn't picked off there by number 2, who's coming round to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quarterback read it late. So he was throwing. He was throwing at the absolute limit, and the receiver had to stop, which gave the defenders time to react.
Unfortunately, he was throwing.
But we get one more bite at the cherry. Go for smash. Try and make one missed tackle. Lots of noise from the sideline. 59 goes up the middle, throws it down. That's beautifully played by number 27, Kerr Stewart. 3 seconds remaining, so they get another go. Now the Vikings had 3 timeouts. Why aren't they trying to complete over the middle on that first one and pick up, say, 15 yards and call a timeout?
And that then brings you into field goal range.
Yeah, well, we've seen in warm-up, I mean, the kicker has a decent range of 50 yards. The into window, a wet ball.
It's going to be difficult, but if you've got the chance to put some points on the board, I think you have to go for it.
Well, it's 0-0 currently. So cover 2, bail coverage from both corners. 59 times it well, throws it underneath, and that'll be the half.
And again, it's another drop by Dion. He'll not be pleased with that.
So you can tell by the weather that the players are anxious to get out of the wet and into the dry. So we forecast a close game. It's currently 0-0, and it's been mistakes from both sides, and not so much mishandling, although there has been quite a few bad snaps. But East Kilbride Pirates holding on the offensive line. For the Vikings, it's been bad snaps, and they've just got no inside running game going at all. They've not tried to run the ball with the running back, with the quarterback, which in my mind is a bit of an error of omission. Close game.
I think the Vikings will be the best pleased out of the 2 sides. But I also think that East Kilbride, when they get into that locker room, they're going to be pretty disappointed with the discipline on the field, because they'll feel they should be in a better position in this game.
Yeah, I mean, certainly wasn't a game for the purists, that one, was it?
Well, there was a lot of penalties, a lot of stop starting, the crowd starting to get frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works in the Vikings' favour or not, or whether it's going to rile
I think
up
it
East
has to,
Kilbride
because
try
as
and
the home
get them
side,
going.
anybody who puts the home side under pressure, it's got to be.
I think you knocked it on the head, though, Howard. The Vikings will be happier with 0-0 than the Pirates, because the Pirates' offense has made some plays that have all been brought back. The Pirates' offense have made plays. The Vikings' offense have really struggled.
You say that, Craig, but 0-0 doesn't get them to the playoffs. It doesn't get them to the title championship.
Yeah, I think, but at this stage in the game, I think
yeah.
the Vikings will be happy with it being 0-0.
Yeah, I would agree with
and
that.
East Kilbride, I think, will feel that they should be in the lead.
Make no mistake, though, Mick, the Pirates want to win this game.
Sure.
They don't want to play their last regular season game
lose.
or even
absolutely.
a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
Because what does that say for the playoffs if you can't beat the second best team in your division?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I do.
Or just to score some points on them.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't help your confidence, does it?
Well, no, especially when, apart from what looks like today's result, Sandwell have been putting a lot of points on the board. And if you're coming into the playoffs with your last game not scoring any points, it makes it look a lot harder.
Sure.
And I understand that the East Kilbride Pirates defence is probably the best one they've ever, that the Sandwell will come up against.
Well, I've just been passed a message by a friend of mine to say the score stream of 0-0 Sandwell Shropshire was incorrect, and it's currently Sandwell Steelers 35, Shropshire Revolution 0 at half-time.
Sounds more like it.
So our surprise was probably warranted.
Yeah, it sounds like normal service has been resumed there.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break now. Thanks for your assistance, Howard, so far.
No problem.
We might have you back for the second half. We'll have
see.
a chat about it. And thanks, Craig. If you want to go and get a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Brilliant, thank you.
Traveling this holiday season, you are going to want to get this, guys. Check this out. This is the homing pin. 1%. Now, this seems like a low number to me. 1% of all bags carried by airlines are misplaced. That seems really low. Anyway, yeah, exactly, right. For a family of 5 traveling twice a year means 20% chance of losing your bags.
Now, Homing Pin provides travelers with baggage loops with tags, key rings, and stickers that have a unique tracking number. Homing Pin labels can also be attached to cell phones, laptops, cameras, and passports.
That's right. You can get a 15-piece standard pack for $20 or a 5-piece starter pack for only $10 at homingpin.com. Now, we spoke about this a couple weeks ago with our tech expert, Nika Allen. So if you want to get a recap on that as well, head over to casa.com. But really, really great stuff, because it will locate, regardless of where it is, it will locate your bag. So you don't have to rely on the airline saying, well, we don't know where your bag is. You can say, you know what, I'm going to do you one better. Right here, I can tell.
I can tell. Can you imagine though, like flying into the Sunport and be like, my bag is in Miami?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Game, we're joined by Spoonie, as everybody is affectionately called. We'll get to that story maybe as another day. First of all, it's nice to come to a stadium with people in it supporting this great game of ours. Doing a cracking job here.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We played at Hamilton Rugby Club for, God, it must have been 6 or 7 years. And it had a stand, but it wasn't covered. And to be honest, they were just hard work. They were one of those kind of rugby clubs where there was a handful of really committed guys that kind of got what we were trying to do, but the rest of them would have rather seen the club go down the tubes than accept money from an American football team. Whereas here, the GHA guys are brilliant, great facilities, and it's where we've made it our home, and we're certainly here for the foreseeable future.
Did you watch much of the first half? I know you were busy this morning.
Yeah, I was. After our scrimmage, I had to go and pick up my daughter, but I came back about halfway through the first quarter. But a bit of a scrappy affair. I don't think the weather particularly helped in the first half. Ball's a little bit slippery, so quite a lot of under and overthrown passes, a few drop balls. But yeah, the referees certainly played a major part in the first half. So yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy one from a spectator point of view, certainly.
Okay, well, looks like we're ready to go. Maybe we'll get a few more words of wisdom from you later, Spoonie. Thanks for now. We're going to go back to our match commentators, Craig Lenihan and Howard Snaith.
Thanks, and welcome back, Howard.
Yeah, thank you.
So just to bring everyone up to speed, it's 0-0. Winner takes all. As it stands, East Kilbride will go through as undefeated, number 1 seeds in this conference, probably number 2 overall. Short kick.
Looked like his knee was down there.
Yeah, his knee
that's
was
what
down.
What the referees have called.
So East Kilbride won't want to be in this position, but if they hold 0-0, they go through as the top seeds. Now, before the half, we'd said it was 0-0 with Shropshire and Sandwell. It wasn't. It was 35-0, and I've just been informed it's in the fourth quarter. It's 42-0.
Okay.
So Sandwell will go through as the number 1 seeds. They'll stay at home both games if they get that far. So the loser of this match gets to travel to Sandwell, or if it stays at a draw like this, Vikings travel to Sandwell.
So let's see if there's been any adjustments made from the offensive line for the Vikings.
Number 51 up the middle. Gordon Wallace makes a stop again. He's been absolutely everywhere against this Vikings run game. We've seen him stop an underthrown fade towards the end of the second quarter. Brings up 2nd and 12. So Howard, what would you expect the offensive coordinator for Vikings to have said at half-time? What adjustments might you see coming?
So I think, first of all, they're going to have looked at adjusting on the offensive line for those 6 guys coming.
And what would they do? Would they keep the running back in as protection on a pass play, or would they flare him out?
Yeah, I think it's really up to the quarterback and what he's comfortable with. I think they'll say to Henry, look, if you need the running back to stay in, you tell him to stay in, or if you want to send him out, send him out.
So is he not responsible for one of those guys in his pre-snap read then?
Yeah, so it depends what we're running. But like you said at the end of the first half, I think the quarterback's going to have to run the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Henry's going to have to take it on himself if he hasn't been told already, and he's going to have to look for some space. There we go. He's
flushed
escaped
out right
17.
by number 17.
So just
Looks
run,
downfield,
just
he's
tuck
keeping
it down.
for
Let's
once.
go. And there we go, right on
And
cue.
there we go, and he picks up
And there
more
we
than
go.
a first down. He tiptoes along that line. Number 21 sort of pulled up just before the hit. Declan Kelly obviously didn't want to get done for a late hit out of bounds, and he only went and scampered for an extra 7 or 8 yards.
So there we go, right on cue. Henry's taking it on himself. He's scrambled out of the pocket. He's nearly been brought down. He's stayed on his feet, and he's gained.
Howard Snaith, welcome to the world of punditry. You broke your punditry cherry there. You are allowed to say, I called it. So spread formation. Throws underneath. A beautiful open field tackle. Declan Kelly, number 21 on the stop. He's playing that sort of nickel back outside backer in a 44, nickel back in this 42, cover 1. It's nice to see this defensive front of the East Kilbride Pirates. So the linemen slanting in there. They don't attack the same gaps each time. It really keeps your offensive line on its toes. Number 17.
Yeah, so we watched 17 go inside gap there on the tackle. And that's the thing, they've got the speed to go around the outside, they've also got the speed to go and the power to go in the inside.
Drops back, looks left.
It's a good completion there, he's just not able to make any yards after he's caught the ball.
Yeah, I mean, East Kilbride are happy to give up a 1 or 2 yard completion underneath every time, because quite often in this rain we've seen them drop it. They're happy that they're going to make the tackle in open field. And there's 2 guys there, there's the nickelback and the cornerback, and the free safety's coming over the top, so it's not going to bust.
Yeah, they've come down. If the first guy misses the tackle, the second guy's there.
I mean, you look at this, and you've got a run smash against that guy covering the slot. He's got inside leverage, your cornerback's up close.
So they normally target number 89 in these kind of
59
situations.
shows drops, given all sorts of time.
And has he made a first down there?
I think he's caught it, but he's slightly short.
No, I think he's called it as a first down.
And that is a big first down. That puts them almost at the halfway line. And this is just the first bit of offensive progress we've seen from the Vikings offense.
If the Vikings can start rolling like this, I think they're going to be hard to stop from East Kilbride's point of view.
Well, they're favouring the matchup for number 14. .59 goes
Late
again.
blitz, 59's cut by the running back.
That's a flag in the backfield late. Is that a hold or possibly a chop block on number 44? It's good to see more intent from the halfback trying to stop that inside pressure off the A-gap blitz.
I think that must have been spoken about at half-time, how they're going to adjust to the 6-man pressure and what they're going to do differently, and it seems to have started with the running back so far.
Vikings have gone back to spread. They're not doing anything fancy. They're saying, right, because this is what's worked for them in the season. They're saying, we've got some really good athletes in this receiving corps. We're going to spread the field and say, cover us man on man, because we back our guys. It makes the job of the quarterback, his read, a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, and that means he needs less time, so that offensive line doesn't have to give him as much protection. Unfortunately, it goes against the Vikings.
So we're going.
Now, so we've got a clipping call, which is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Brings up first down and 35-ish. Difficult to tell.
It's a long way.
So go back to twins left. Hit the tight end on a seam. No, we're going to block it inside. Fumble.
I think East Kilbride have got it. So there was.
Now from this vantage point, I've spotted something. Great turnover for the Pirates, giving them great field position on about the 23-yard line. But just looking at the way the East Kilbride Pirates defense lined up there, they looked like they were showing zone underneath. So when the Vikings went to that tight end on the right, there was nobody over him, and the only person between him and the end zone was a cover 1 free safety. They should be looking to hit him on the seam. Is that something that's in the playbook?
Yeah, so that's again something that the quarterback needs to look at and call it on the field. Because
I mean, they walked the outside backer out towards that receiver, which meant the tight end had a free release.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a really good play for the Pirates here, getting great field position. Got an H-back left. We've got trips right on the narrow side. Last time we saw this was a QB keep left. We're going to see a zone handoff right. Great pressure from Paul Richardson, number 1 up the middle, 56 on the tackle. But number 1, Paul Richardson, showing that's been an inspired move from him to defensive tackle from centre. Eden Fee coming back, releasing him, and he's created havoc on a number of plays.
Yeah, well, he's ended up 5-6 yards down into the backfield with.
I'm going to say this because we're in Scotland, Howard. He got great penetration.
I don't really know what to follow that one up with. Not that I can say on a live stream anyway.
So we've got two backs, twins right, number 88, all the way over here on the left towards the camera, singled out. Gives it up the middle, number 3, Burwell on the hit, and another flag in the backfield. Right, Howard, I'm thinking the purpose of that play was purely to give the head coach a chance to read what Vikings coverage was against this single receiver. And I would expect them to try throw it to him in the next play or two, because he's singled out and the safety was watching the run the whole time.
Yeah.
So expect a play action in some sort of either slant or slant corner, because he's totally on an island. Now we've seen them try it against number 25, Josh Penny, and not had some success. And now going to the other side of the field, the number 20, Thomas McKean, and maybe going to give him a test on this drive. See what the flag is.
Looks like it's on East Kilbride.
If it's offensive holding again.
So it looks like there's 2 flags there.
So declined the first one, took the personal foul, which is a chop block, which is when one lineman or one blocker is engaged with the defender up top above the waist, and a second offensive player comes in and blocks him below the waist.
Yeah.
So it's illegal because it's very, very dangerous. So same formation, we've got second and long after their personal foul. Let's see what a quarterback looks. Where's he looking? So he's going to get the play from the sideline. He's going to casually look at number 89 and think, where's the help over the top? Now, number 2.
So number 2.
Who's playing safety has actually come out this way now.
So number 2, Richie Howe, was the Vikings starting quarterback.
Yeah, and
in
he
the
was
first 5 games.
Richie, whoever was playing that position last play was much closer to the box. They'd been suckered in,
Yeah.
leaving that guy on an island. Now, one thing East Kilbride do very well is they do plays purely to read you for the second time they do the play later on, and they tend to do that in the first quarter and a half, and then hit you with the adjustment at the end of the second or in the third.
So we're just getting some clarification of where the ball's being spotted here. So far, East Kilbride haven't thrown the ball yet in the second half. I think that's something, like you say, they're trying to draw people into the box and then, over the top on one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get success in the run game to bring the third level closer to the box. It's not worked so far. Pitch left. Cuts it back. That's intelligent play. Number 55, Josh Tucker on the stop.
Josh Tucker stopped him there. A real good cut, though, by the East Kilbride running back.
Dougie Meakin, number 28. That was beautifully played. It was destined for the left-hand side, but the Vikings defense over-pursued. So when he cut back, he had some very weak arm tackles until Tucker took him out.
So yeah, the Vikings
Got change your play from the sideline for the Pirates.
So running back moves to the other side.
Is it looking left?
He's kept it. He throws over the top. Oh, it's complete.
Now, I'm not sure if he was fortunate, and number 88 was the intended target.
I don't think
I
don't think he was the intended target. So now they're on 4th down and 2.
So Struan Bailey managed to catch it, but I do think that David Fallon, number 88, was the intended target. They just caught a break, but sometimes that's what you need to win games like this. 4th and 2, and they're going for it. Trips left, and they're spread out.
Brings me back to the question I asked you in the first quarter, Craig. Would you go for the field goal here?
Me? No.
Well, that means the Vikings then would have to score a touchdown or 2 field goals.
Next same field goal, he would go for it. QB keep left, they've got numbers. Got a good seal, but who's up there?
Has he made it?
There's a flag on the play before and a flag on the play after. So the Vikings defense did a fantastic job of stringing it out with the motion just before the snap. The Pirates had numbers.
Looks as though this could potentially be a hit out of bounds, and that is something the Vikings defense do not want here.
We've also got a flag either
the
on
other
the
side.
snap or just after. Who'd have thunk it? Another flag.
Seems to be a common theme here today.
We have both captains speaking to the referees.
So do you think it's the pressure of this game that is making these two teams flag happy?
No, I'll tell you what it is the offensive line are playing a really good defense, and the margin of error is tiny, and the guys are trying to do too much. You know, this is the best defense they'll face all year. Holding on offense. There's a surprise.
And I think they've declined that, and the offense is going to come on the field.
So it's a turnover on downs. The Vikings defense managed to make the tackle short of the first down. And so I think both the penalties were against the Pirates. They've declined that.
So do you think there's a little bit of frustration creeping in now? If the East Kilbride Pirates have been in this position all season long, you'd expect them to punch one in from that far out.
Well, they only scored 8 against Vikings defense. Now, here's the thing. You've got to understand the situation. Situational football. If this stays 0-0, they've effectively gone through first and they get everything they want. If they win this game by 100 points or 1 point, it makes no difference. They get the same outcome.
Again, tasting back though, should they have gone for a field goal, get some points on the board?
You might have been right, Howard. Drops back.
Oh, he's rushed around. He's flushed out to the
61
left.
chases him, but he's just not quite fast enough.
So he loses some yards there, but it's, again, real good play by Henry to roll out of the pocket. He's seen what's on downfield.
I mean, Matt Allison was great. He continued chasing him and he forced him into a decision.
Yeah.
But we had really good man coverage underneath from the Pirates, which meant even though the Pirate was the quarterback was buying himself time, he just had nobody to throw to. Now, I'm going to say it again, that was a great decision because he didn't try and force it.
Yeah.
And that's when interceptions at this sort of distance can kill the game. So, you know, a wise decision. He read it, he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, it was great pursuit by the D-line.
So we've got
there
press
from the
coverage now
backside.
from the Pirates on the near side. Free safety's really deep. Play action. Throws the slant underneath. It's complete for a first down. Number 34 hauls him in. Martin Barnsley.
Jacob Shotton with the reception there.
I mean, the free safety, as I called before the snap, the free safety was like 15 or more yards deep. There was no way he could get underneath to help on that. I mean, if he'd have been at 8 or 9 yards, he could have ended that receiver's day.
Not only is he 15 yards deep, as soon as the snap is, he's bailing backwards. Again, if Jacob Shotton catches that ball in stride, you've got to back him to beat the safety.
Look, I mean, he's 20 yards. He's about 16 yards deep, the free safety. Zone left, gives it. Number 59, Gordon Wallace on a stop again. How many times have we said his name today?
That was real good play by the defensive end there. He's made the quarterback hand the ball up the middle because it's not on the outside, and he's met by the big D tackles there and brought him down.
So it brings up 3rd and 10. Is that 2nd and 10? My mistake.
So number 2 has now come down into corner, and number 4's gone back to safety.
Drops back, play action, throws it underneath to 81, it's complete.
Real fortunate there on the right tackle not to get a flag for
Yeah, I
false
thought he
start.
might have jumped, he was lucky there. Number 27, Kerr Stewart on a great open field tackle. On number 81, Dion Feather. Just a good example of football there. Good catch in the pretty horrendous conditions today. Good open field tackle. Brings up 3rd and 2 on the left hash.
So I'm going to call here, if he doesn't hand it off to the running back, I think Henry, the quarterback, is going to take on the ball and run around the outside and try and get some yards.
See what sort of block this right tackle makes. Yeah. Number 45, Paul Stewart gets a big mitt up in front of the QB and swats the ball away.
Vikings looking for his receiver down that right sideline. Ball
Interesting choice when you're on 3rd and 2 to go for the pass.
Well, they were going underneath. What they had was man coverage on the outside. They had the wide side on the right, and they ran basically a pick play. I think a slant or a post on the outside and a quick breaking out. With man coverage, you always want to keep your receivers moving and create some sort of clash of those defenders. I mean, it's for 2 yards, that's a high percentage completion. It was a good call, but just great pressure from number 45, Paul Stewart. Yeah, we've got a legal motion. I think the Vikings were trying to do some strange shift, perhaps try for a fake punt on 4th and 2.
So the thing is, Jacob Shotton back there, who's the punter.
Well, that to me looked like they were either it was a blown alignment, or they were trying to do some sort of shift prior snap and run the ball for 2 yards. They just messed it up. So we're going to punt on 4th and 7. It's a good snap. Nice high punt with another great chase. In fact, that takes a good bounce for the Pirates, actually. The chase was so good from the Vikings, they actually overrun it. But what that does is that just stops any return. So just unfortunate. That's the first time the Vikings have had a bad bounce.
Let's see if the Pirates' offensive line is going to manage to get the mistakes out of their system here. You've got to think, if they do one drive with no flags, they're going to be close to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, they've got good field position on almost the halfway line. Got H back on the right, number 88. Twins left, a single right. Drops back to pass. Looks right on the post.
Overthrown just a little
And
bit.
that's beautiful coverage by number 25, Josh Penny. Number 3, Liam McCrory, the intended receiver, but there was absolutely no way that was going to happen. He just was sat in his hip pocket and didn't let him go.
It's a real experienced player there by Josh Penny.
Yeah, I mean, the QB knew he had no help over the top and he's going to test him, but at some point you've got to think, we've tried him a few times, it's not worked.
Let's go someone else.
Yeah, well, they tried to put number 20 under duress earlier on, but they only had one crack at it and then the safety came over.
Well, Connor Joyce is over this side again.
So we go out to spread, 88 leaves the H back, goes to the Y position.
So it looks like Ducey Bell.
Straight drop again, throws underneath to number 3, is complete. Number 25, Josh Penny on the tackle for a loss.
Again, real experienced player there. He read that the ball was going to him. He got there quick, he broke down, he made the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you're coaching in open field, you've got to wrap.
Yeah.
You don't care what you do. Especially on these receivers that fast, you've got to break down early.
There's no point coming in trying to wipe him out if you're going to miss him.
No. Because the tape don't lie, Howard. So we've got trips left. And the one thing I don't like about the Pirates, seam up the middle, number 82. Ooh. Oh, that's a beautiful play. One of the weaknesses of cover 2, the sidelines, which most people try, but that's the first time we've seen somebody try and split the safeties, because that middle seam is the other weakness of a cover 2. It's a difficult throw for a QB because you don't see it very well with the offensive line. One thing I don't like about this Pirates offense, every time they're going to pass the ball, the halfback lines up level with the QB. When he's going to run it, he lines up behind him. That's just a clear tell to the defense.
Unless they're setting it up for later on.
No, they're not.
We'll see.
Yes, we shall. So it started raining again heavily.
Looks to be a good punt.
He's going to have another.
It's taking a strange bounce there. It's gone left.
It's a really good bounce for the Pirates. It's going to be down on about the 4.5 yard line. For a point there, Howard, I thought number 14 was going to have a go at that.
Looked like it was going straight into Jordan Matthews' hands. Very good punt there from East Kilbride.
I mean, perhaps the Vikings have been spoiled with the fact he's taken those 50-50 balls. He's taken them, and now he doesn't. We're thinking, maybe he should. But really, he was under duress. It was a good chase. You know, that I'll give him a shout out here. That highlights what a decent player he is, that we get.
He knows when not to
No,
do
it's
it.
not. You become used to him doing really good plays, and then when he doesn't do one, you think, why didn't you do that? When a normal player would just leave it out, of course. So, QB's going to be lined up in his own end zone.
So this is real important that Eden Fay gets a snap down
Expect
here.
to see pressure from 59 and 8. Crowd's starting to get noisy.
Nice snap. Henry throws the ball.
That's got to be defensive pass interference there. He
there
was
we go.
all over him.
Right on cue, there's the flags.
Now that's a curious call from the Pirates defense. He dropped their middle backers into zone, expecting that easy slant pass. The cornerback didn't trust his inside backer to step out and make the drop, and it was absolutely all over the intended receiver. Now, the receiver's been smart there. He's pushed against him. You know, he sort of leaned against him as he's run the pattern, just to highlight the fact that 50-50 call's made into a 100% call. It's a good play.
So the rain's really coming down now. Probably the heaviest we've seen all day. Vikings deep in their own territory here. You've got to think you're just going to keep sending 6 here.
Now we've got a flag on the floor. Has that been waved?
Well, we are a little bit further forward.
No, it's automatic
An
first
automatic
down.
first down,
There we go. Pass. Yeah. Pass interference, but they've not moved him forward very far. Is that? I thought it was 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Oh, right. 5 yards from the spot of the foul. So he. The rain's really heavy now. 59 on the blitz. Flushes him out.
And here we go. And he looks to have gained no yards there, but more importantly, he hasn't lost it.
Yep. You've got to keep reminding ourselves how it is 0-0. You know, a mistake could give up a safety or even a pick 6, and effectively you're up against it. Whereas, yes, he's only lost half a yard, but you've got control of the game still. It's all about eliminating mistakes, especially on a day now it's absolutely bucketing down out there.
Well, we've seen on the last Vikings drive, they ran up the middle, fumble from the running back, and it gave the Pirates the ball in real good position.
So trips right.
21 looks to be showing blitz on the outside, looks like he's dropping back.
Drops back, looks underneath to the out, 89. And he manages to pick up a good 3-4 yards in contact as well.
Ross Conley picked out again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a straight matchup. Number 2, Brodie McDonald, was there to make the tackle, but he's clearly outsized.
Yeah.
So, you know, a really intelligent play. It's not a big gain on the throw, but what you're saying is each time he's getting 3 or 4 yards after contact. So that turns a very small throw, a 2-yard throw, into a 6 or 7 yard gain.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a high percentage completion. And every so often he might break one and pick up an extra 10 or 15. So press coverage on the outside.
So number 4's back in safety.
It looks left. Oh, there's a miscommunication. So we've got smash concept, beautifully covered.
Looks like PI again.
Yeah, number 4 saying, what me, ref? So we had a smash. We had the outside receiver who had press against him run a 6-yard hook, and the slot runs the corner to see whether that is the cornerback's going to sit underneath or drop deep into deep thirds.
Yeah, I'd say it's a real good throw there by Henry. He's put the ball up for Jordan Matthews. The defense has scrambled across, starting to panic a little bit. Looks as though they've given away pass interference on it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd rather give away pass interference than let them complete it and maybe burst one, because it looks like today one good play could actually turn this game.
Well, we've seen Jordan Matthews, especially from punt return, that he can make tackles miss. So, like you say, it probably is safer to give up the pass interference.
Oh yeah, without doubt. So we've got trips right on the narrow side.
So the Vikings are really starting to ask some questions of the Pirates.
Yeah, number
secondary
27, they're putting him under duress. It's Kerr Stewart. He's in press. He's got very little help over the top.
And again, handoff to the running back. He's met before the line of scrimmage and brought down.
Defensive tackle, number 55, Stephen Kane. Bust that play up the middle. Now he got great penetration. He managed to wrap.
So
You
it
know,
looks as
that's
though
the
they've-
guard's man then, and he was from, I think he was from front side as well, so the guard who was up against him should have had a decent angle on him.
So a loss of 3 yards, 2-3 yards there.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly grabbed by Jordan Matthews. Another flag on the play.
Yeah, now that is the first time we've seen the East Kilbride Pirates. What they did was rotated a zone left towards a trip on the snap. Both middle backers immediately dropped hard left on a zone.
We got a holding on the defense.
So a holding call on the defense.
So that'll probably be to stop one of the offensive receivers releasing quickly, to just grab them from behind and impede them. Generally speaking, holding calls are against the offense because you can't hold somebody at all. But on a defense, you can hold, as in grab a hold of jerseys and pull and push and move. But if you hold to stop somebody running downfield, that's a penalty.
So that brings up a first down for the Vikings here.
Slowly marching towards the halfway line, and the rain is just absolutely torrential at the moment. Drops back, looks left, it's flushed out,
There we go.
manages
Right
to
tackle's
break a
done
tackle,
well.
there's a flag. Number 27 chases him. So do we have a holding call on the offensive lineman who's desperately trying to stop the defensive lineman sacking him? Is that number 17 with the pressure, Angus McIntosh?
Yeah, it was real good pressure by the defensive end.
We got a holding on the offense.
So they're going to decline that. The Pirates managed to make the Vikings offense lose so many yards that they're going to decline the penalty. So they'll expend another down and go backwards again. But
Well, I think the quarterback, just before he ran out of bounds, tried to throw the ball away.
he's lucky he didn't get intentional grounding because he didn't return it to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
There was no receiver in the area.
But they've adjudged him to have stepped out of bounds first.
But Judge, that's a very long word for you, Howard.
Slightly overthrown there.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, these conditions aren't great.
absolutely bucketing down. It's torrential out there. And we sound jolly about it because we're in a covered stand, but it must be horrendous trying to throw the football in these conditions.
So number 61's coming on to defensive end, replacing number 45.
It's Matt Allison on, Paul Stewart leaving the field. You see the advantage of having a big squad, you can rotate these big guys, keep them fresh. We're in the third quarter and you've got fresh legs coming on both sides of the ball.
Each one as good as the last one as well.
Yeah, they've got real strength and depth in this East Kilbride Pirates team. A testament to, I think, the youth program and the junior program feeding so many guys through. Drops back, rolls right this time. Now that's the first time we've seen the Vikings have a designated rollout protection because they've struggled with pressure up the middle, pressure off the edge. So one way to do that is actually roll your quarterback out and say, look, we can't give you as much time up the middle, but you can outrun these guys. It gives the offensive lineman a better angle. Now, can you tell me, did you run full slide at the Vikings, or is it man, big on big, or half slide, or?
Yeah, so we do half slide. Depending on which kind of pass protection we're going into. We've got a few in the play.
On a rollout, what sort of protection would you have
So
on a
we,
rollout? So it brings up 4th and long for a punt.
let's see what the bounce is like on this one. The punt gets away.
Oh, that's a nice high kick.
nice and
Good
high.
chase again.
And again, it's
I mean,
not the best bounce.
Stu and Bailey was back to return, but he's just, I don't even think he's had a single return this game, has he?
I think that's a testament to the Vikings punt team.
Well, on a day like today, the punt team could be the difference. I mean, it's 0-0. Are you winning a field position battle? Because I think the Pirates' offense has still been a bit more productive, yet the great kick and chase from the Vikings special teams. We've not seen a single return, let alone a decent return. So spread formation.
Yeah, I'd say the Pirates offense definitely had the edge in the first half. I think it's a little bit more even in the second half.
Yeah, the Vikings have definitely managed to do something new this half. So motion to trips left, counter right. Picks up a great block from
He's got
number
a lot of
70
space.
downfield. And that's a
So
nice
that's about
8 yards.
8-yard gain there.
I think that's and the crowd showing their appreciation. That was a beautiful counter pull from the left-hand side. Number 78, I believe, was playing left tackle, Max Linus.
I think they're just clapping that there's no flags on the play.
I'd like to say they were clapping fantastic offensive line play.
Everyone
Others
likes the
might say,
offensive
oh look,
line.
the running back did well. Offensive line, my friend.
And the referee kept their flag in the pocket, so.
Look, they're getting paid. They have to do something. Got motion. Gives on a jet, cuts back. That's enough for a first.
And again brought down. Good gang tackle in there from the Vikings. But real clever running by the Pirates there. He knew where he needed to get to. When
Number
he got
6,
there, he
Struan
cut back.
Bailey. So hurry up offense. They line up again.
So they're going to try and use the tempo against the Vikings here.
Yeah, brings up a first down. That real mature play, turning upfield, not trying to bust anything on, just getting a first down. Keep the chains moving. So on the motion again, fakes the handoffs, fumble.
But
So I
it's
think what
returned.
we had was a fake jet left, a zone right. See if we could get those second level defenders for the Vikings coming across. Number 89, Fraser McDonald helping up Paul Richardson. I think he slightly underestimated the amount of pull required.
No comment on that one. I think that's Paul's summer body right now.
Wait till you see his winter coat. So motion left again. Got fake
Running
jet
back
left.
again, cuts up, and
zone
Ducey
right.
Burwell up straight up the middle
Yeah, I mean,
stops
that's
him.
Beautiful play. Ducey Burwell over from America, had a great season at Durham University. He's really good at sniffing out the running back in that inside congested region where most guys would struggle. He was straight through. I think that brings up the fourth quarter, still 0-0. As it stands, if it stays at 0-0, East Kilbride go through 9-0-1, top in the conference. They'll play at home, and the new Northumberland Vikings will have to travel away to number 1 seed Sandwell Steelers. So the Vikings need to get some sort of score, and a field goal will put them level on the head-to-head.
So it goes to points against per game, I believe.
Which would actually, oh my God, if the Vikings could score a field goal, it would be level head-to-head, which comes down to points conceded, and the Vikings have had the better defense, unless they concede a lot of points against Aberdeen Roughnecks next week at home, which we would not foresee happening.
Well, whatever happens here, the Vikings still have one more game left in the season, so they're going to have to go about that the right way. There's no point in winning by 3 here and then losing next week, just because of complacency.
So QB
13
rolls
keeps
left, looks down the sideline against cover 2.
Oh,
That was underthrown, but number 25, Josh Penny, broke off his coverage quite early and sat up, seeing it was going to sit up quite high and short. Number 89, the intended receiver, Fraser McDonald. And that was an unusual play. If that was 2 vert, they had 2 guys close to the sideline, which brings the free safety over. That second guy should have been on that middle team on the cover 2. All he did was attract extra defenders into the area.
so Jordan Matthews back to
Yeah, it's
return the punt.
absolutely bucketing down still.
So he's on
really
the 5-yard
bad
line.
conditions.
Let's see
Good
if the
snap.
punt. Oh, nearly blocked there by Paul Richardson.
That's
And it's a
high.
very high punt.
Takes
It's a
a
real
bad
good bounce.
bounce for the Pirates. I mean, it was a high and short kick, but it
So
took
what-
a really bad bounce and went 9 yards backwards, and it only actually netted them about 7 yards on the punt.
So what are you thinking there? The ball lands right near number 20 for the Vikings. Do you try and be a hero, pick
No.
the ball up and go?
No. 0-0, no. Not on your own 20-odd yard line, because you're not going to score from there. You're going to fumble it.
Well, you're not going to score if you don't pick it up.
You're not going to fumble it if you don't pick it up. You're not going to fumble it on your own 20-yard game, and
Maybe-
20-yard line, 0-0 in the most important game of the season. Howard, I'm disappointed in you.
Maybe that's the offensive lineman coming out of me. I would have picked it up and went for it.
So, spread formation. Vikings have the wind behind them now in the fourth quarter. Drops back, looks right. On the fades, goes to the sideline, number 8. Number 81, it hit him in the hands and he had number 27 beat down the sideline. It was a beautiful ball, he just couldn't hang on to it.
So Dion Feather again there. You'll be disappointed with that one.
Number 27, Kerr Stewart, was beaten. The free safety, Brodie McDonald, was nowhere to be seen. And if you're going to win a game like this, you have to take your chances.
Yeah.
He'll be kicking himself after that one.
He'll be disappointed, but looking at the conditions,
they've got the wind behind them, so you know they've got that extra little bit of range on the QB's arms, probably another 5 or 6 yards. Got stack formation.
Let's see if they
I'm getting excited, Howard. Crowd getting vocal. 59 on the blitz, gives up the middle. And the Pirates now, number 55 really got his hand in there. Stephen Kane was doing everything he could to try and strip that ball out of the running back's hands.
So Dan Sibbald is now on at running back for the Vikings. I think the issue there, he seemed to slow down just at the point of hitting contact.
Well, I think there was so much penetration of the defensive tackles on number 59, Gordon Wallace, blitzing up the middle.
Again, it was great penetration by the defensive line from the Pirates.
Yeah.
But also those linebackers filling in, really not allowing any run game whatsoever so far.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Not much to add to that, Howard. So cornerback Sean Bell, coverage are going to throw underneath. Flushed out. Oh, big block.
Big block there, and
number
61's down.
Number 61.
Was that Jordan Matthews, number 14 there?
Matt Allison took a real hard hit from the side. It was clean. Number 55.
So that brings up fourth down, the Vikings punt team.
Stephen Kane came through the middle and caused all sorts of pressure.
So that drive just shows us one play could break this game wide open.
Absolutely, and it's good to see the Vikings actually going for it, because in a game like this, one play could be the difference. But as you said, if you don't take the shot, you can't score, because they're not going to bust an inside zone for 50 yards. They're not going to complete something underneath and break 2 tackles for 50 yards. That's not going to happen. It's cover 1, man coverage underneath. You're going to have to go downtown, baby, Vegas all the way.
I think Coach O'Regan is going to be looking at the inside run. They've done it all season, the Vikings. They've done it to great effect. Today just hasn't really come into it, but I think that's a credit to the defensive line from the Pirates.
But also you've got to remember, a lot of the times that inside zone is just to keep that cover 1 defense honest, because if they thin guys out the box and you start to gain yards on the ground, they can then defend the pass.
Yeah.
So what the Pirates are saying is, look, we're going to stop the run and we're going to stop the short passing game. You're going to beat us by throwing long down the sideline, and it's not easy to do when it's absolutely bucketing down. Your quarterback's hands are cold, your receiver's hands are cold.
As we've just seen downfield there.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely torrential out there.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm up here commentating.
You're not really.
No, I'm not.
So it brings up 4th and 11. Vikings electing to bring out the punt team. Number 4 to return very deep. James Lightbody.
So do you think they're going to try and return this one then? Do you think he's saying, right, let's take one on me. Let's see if I can get out of here. We're sick of the roll going all the way down, pinning us back in our own territory.
No
let's
mistakes. No mistakes in your own half. No mistakes. One mistake and you lose the game.
Very conservative.
A safety wins this game. A field goal wins this game. Is that a late hit or a hold?
Holding, I think.
So it's probably holding on the kicking team.
So it was a low snap. Jacob Shotton's had to scramble around to get it. There's a bit of...
What that does is that gives the blocking team that little extra half-second chance on the rush, which puts your up-backs under that much more duress. Because you haven't heard the thud, the timing's all off. The guys what you see is the guys charging the kick down, their eyes widen.
So they're starting to panic a little bit, and they've grabbed a hold of him.
If I don't do something here, it's going to be blocked into the end zone. But, you know, from the up-back's perspective, you give away a hold, it's still 4th down, you re-kick. What you're not doing is giving up a blocked punt for a touchdown, game over. It's a bit like a pass interference call, or you tackle holding somebody so it doesn't kill your quarterback. Yes, it was a flag, but I'm really not going to question you there because the alternate was worse. So the Pirates will take the hold in. So it's a touchback, and they'll get 10 yards pegged on, so they'll take the ball on their own 30-yard line going out. Into wind.
Well, as you can see from those flags over there, the wind has picked up significantly since the start of this game.
And it's still raining heavily. But the Pirates said pre-game, unless it's absolutely blown a hoolie, as they say in these parts, they're still going to throw the ball.
Nice bit of colloquial language going on there, Craig.
Motion left.
Hand off
Oh,
to the
that's
running
nice.
back.
That's it.
Great tackle by number 99, Tom McHale, met him at the line of scrimmage.
That's the first time we saw that last time these teams met. We had the motion, and the motioning back became a lead blocker in a stretch play. So stretch is more like an outside zone where the back's aiming for the outside hip of the tackle. Most of the time they run an inside zone where he's aiming for the outside hip of the guard. So we're starting to see a few new plays put in by the East Kilbride Pirates offense.
It really forces the defensive end as well to play his outside contain real well. When they're running the ball that hard, that quick up it, he's got to put pressure on the tackle and make him miss.
So zone read, he gives it. Nice gain on 2nd down, bringing up 3rd and short.
That's a real good run play by the Pirates there. So
running tempo again, they're going to go for it.
3rd and 1.
3rd and 1. Got spread formation now. I would expect them to run that zone read and the QB pull it.
I think the QB is going to keep
and
a hold of
he's
this
going to look
one.
at the slot on this near side because number 13's in a bind.
Oh, it's a
fumble.
bad snap.
And
He
look,
gets out. Great tackle there.
so
there is a flag on the play.
I think that was going to be a stretch left read with the option of the QB keeping it right. And I think he was thinking, now it can't be disproved now, so I'm going to say I called it. He was looking at number 13 and thinking I can get outside of him because number 13 just stepped inside slightly on that motion. I think it's probably going to be a holding against the offensive line.
So just to clarify, if this game ends 0-0, there is no overtime. It ends as a draw, unlike in Bucks rules.
So it's a holding against the offense. It's declined.
So
So it
Tom
brings on
McHale,
4th and 8.
Tom McHale comes off. Jordan Matthews on for the punt return.
Hang on, sorry, I think I called that wrong. There was a tripping. Is that right? Tripping? Somebody said tripping. I'm sure the referee said tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. So it's 4th and 8. We're going to punt. Expect them to go for the sideline rather than a decent return. Nope.
Yeah, they've gone.
Yeah, it's
It's
another
high.
short kick. No, it doesn't take the best of bounces, but it stops any sort of return, any chance at an explosive play.
Seems as though they've taken a leaf out of the Vikings book there.
Yeah. A day like today, why would you give the other team chances? There's not going to be many chances today. Every time you let the punt returner run the ball, that's just one more chance you've got to defend. So why would you do that? Why, Howard? I need an answer.
I'm agreeing with you.
So 32-yard line going out for the Vikings offense on the left hash.
So
Matt
spread
Thompson
formation.
back in at running back. Got that rotate on the zone left.
Oh, is he going to... Number 2 just got caught there. There's a flag on the play.
Now once again,
Looks like it could be on the offensive line for the Vikings.
we saw the middle linebackers in this 42 front immediately rotate a zone towards the open side or the field side on the snap. No pressure, sort of rotating towards the space.
See what the call is.
Ineligible receiver downfield offense. Declined personal foul. Is that clipping? Offense. Didn't catch the number. 70 something, maybe 77.
So that could be Matthew Carney.
Didn't quite catch the number. That's a 15-yard penalty.
And all of a sudden, Vikings have got a long way to go.
Yeah.
This is what the Pirates want. They want the Vikings down here, try and force them to make a mistake, a bad snap, the ball's wet,
Oh, yeah.
fumble into the run, like a handoff to the running back that's fumbled. This is where the Pirates want to be.
Just wait until the chains get set. So we're going to walk back 15.
The ball ends up. That ball was 17.
So brings up 1st and 25 on the Pirates' 15-yard line. Sorry, 17-yard line.
1st and 25 for the Vikings.
Once again, the Pirates' free safety. It's 20 yards deep on the snap.
Well, that looked
Well,
like
Howard.
that looked like a false start to me, but it hasn't been
Fumbled
flagged.
snap, that's what they were after, but the free safety immediately rotated towards the motion side.
Vikings just need to calm down here. They need
Yeah.
to compose themselves a little bit and just get out of here.
You need to get yourself in a position where you can make 10 yards just to give yourself a nice space to punt from and try to get a decent punt and pin them back. Because you got the tailwind on the punt. I'd take a shot. You know, you can't cover both sidelines. Both your cornerbacks in press, throw it along the sideline. That could be the game changer. You got the wind at your back. Cornerbacks in press. Just didn't have the time. Number 24, Aaron Callaghan, on a great cover play. Now,
So that was
I'm
aimed
saying
at,
throw the ball deep on the seam, but the cornerbacks did, number one, did a good job of jacking up those receivers up the line, but more importantly, there was pressure up the middle, flush the quarterback out. You cannot throw a fade or deep if you're getting A-gap pressure. That's why Reggie White was so good. A-gap pressure, kills an offense. So the defensive tackles of the Pirates have really caused this inside offensive line trouble today in the inside zone, pressure up the middle, flushing out the quarterback.
so the corner's bailing.
Number 59 on the blitz, flushed out right, 17 chasing him.
Needs to be careful. Good throw.
That's a flag.
Ooh. Good hit there. But there is a flag on the play.
Now number
Is that
7,
going to be on the offensive line?
almost definitely, but that's a late flag thrown. Maybe some sort of chat after the play.
Who would do that?
Now Henry Bulmer took his eyes off the ball, figuratively speaking, because he was getting great pressure off Angus McIntosh, number 6. It was 17 against 17, but he forgot there was pressure coming from the back. He was very lucky not to be caught from behind. He was trying to force a play. What did I say earlier? A mistake there, you throw a pick, or you get hit in a fumble.
Well, let's see what the call is.
He's in the offensive backfield to start with. Point towards the offense. Ineligible field downfield, it's declined. So, ineligible receiver downfield, 5 yards, that's declined after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Vikings. I didn't catch the number.
So that's half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you didn't, because you've only got. Is that a full 10-yard end zone? Looks to me about a 7 or 8 yard
Looks a
end
big
zone.
show, yeah.
It gives you maybe 12 yards So any sort of a bad snap here and you're in real problems.
So there's going to be a lot of noise here from the sideline.
Yeah,
from
I
the
mean, East
crowd.
Kilbride, this is your chance to win the game here. You've got to send 10 guys. You put everybody on the line and force a mistake. This could win you the game, 2-0 or 6-0. You've got to send everything. It's a good snap.
It's a great
It's
punt.
a good kick.
He's going to return it.
Fielded cleanly. Number 6 makes a man miss.
Oh,
Blocking the back, number 27.
There we go. Flags on the play.
Now number 27 for the Pirates, Kerr Stewart. And I'm not sure if there was a different flag call, but it was definitely a block in the back by number 27.
It's just unnecessary. They're returning it. They're getting deep into the Vikings territory.
I'm not going to call that malicious, because what happens on a play like that, when the ball carrier cuts it, the defender's angle changes so abruptly that you line yourself up for a block, and if you don't pull out, you end up hitting him in the back. Whereas he's probably lined up thinking, I'm going to hit him from the side and get a really good block. And as he just turns that last bit, you hit him from behind.
So again, a cheap shot on number 25.
We're not
Josh
calling it
Penny.
a cheap shot. I didn't see that one. So are we getting the Pirates going back on this?
Well, there's another flag just been thrown. Looks like on the sideline of the Vikings.
So this could
Looks
be
like
against
it's on the-
sideline misconduct.
Looks like it's on the head coach, Kevin O'Regan. Not entirely sure. I think he's just trying to protect his players here.
I'm not trying to engineer some artificial controversy here, though, Howard, but let's talk about player discipline.
Let's talk about player discipline.
And I'm not aiming at this at you specifically, but let's talk about player and coach discipline. There's flags being thrown. You chipping in, how's it going to help your team? Not you specifically, you metaphorically. Can you see how people might say to individuals after a second foul, why would you do that? It just hurts your team. Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to be experiencing some technical issues with Howard's microphone here. It seems to have stopped working.
Yeah, it stopped working.
So it's unsportsmanlike against the Vikings sideline.
So it puts the defense in a bit of a pickle here.
Yeah, I mean, that's on the 32-yard line of the Vikings.
They've done well second half, the defense from the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, without that penalty, the Pirates would be starting inside their own half.
Yeah.
As it is, they're on the Vikings' 32-yard line. So they're into wind, and it is raining. It's not as heavy as it was previously, but it is still raining. So two-back offense with number 88 in at H-back, David Fallon. Who's in at half-back? Drops back.
Good snap, quarterback has
Going
time.
downtown.
There's a flag in the backfield. Potential holding on the offensive line.
The QB had a long time to read that and still threw it, and it was great coverage. So I think he'd picked his target before the snap there and didn't do a post-snap read, because they had a quick out on the right-hand side that was completely uncovered. He was fixated on that seam and it was never on.
Again, it's another flag on the offensive line of the Pirates.
For holding, which puts them back 10 yards.
I know we've spoken quite a bit about the Pirates' defensive line, but big shout out to the defensive line of the Vikings here. They're putting the offensive line under real pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that people might be thinking, why have we been so many of these calls? Well, generally the reason an offensive lineman holds is because he thinks he's beaten on the play.
Ooh.
That's got to be a false
False
start.
start on the.
So-
Looks like they're pulling left tackle.
So what we had, that should have been a fake jet left, counter right with a pull-in left guard and tackle. trying to bring those second level defenders. You put number 13, who's the outside backer, he's got to contend with a pulling guard, and he's got to force that in. Now, I don't know about you, but I would take a pulling guard against somebody the size of number 13 if it is turning up in the alley, because you've got a tackle coming around behind it. And the reason they put that fake jet in is to try and get that middle backer to cheat over towards the jet side.
They try and cause a little bit of hesitation on the defense.
Yeah, and that's all it takes, a bit of hesitation.
I think the left tackle is just a little bit too eager to go there.
Yeah.
All that pressure from the defensive line.
Well, he might have looked up and seen the alignment and thought this could bust.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what this alignment is from the Vikings.
Looks
We've got
like
that
the same
counter
kind of play.
again in it. There we go. So the big block on 13 springs it. So had that same play again, and even though 13 was in the correct position, he was just out-muscled.
And again, a flag on the play.
And the crowd are booing this one. Once again, Howard, controversy from this GHA stadium. The crowd don't like that call. Would we call this a partisan crowd though, Howard? I'm waiting for them to burst into Flower of Scotland and tell me to go home to think again.
Unnecessary roughness. Again, you can sense the frustrations boiling over here.
There is, but I will say this: this game has been played in an absolutely amazing spirit. These teams are slugging it out. You know, there's been some decent hits going in here, and we've had very little backbiting. You know, so I know the crowd is having as much of a laugh as anything else. But the Pirates' offensive line have got to do something. You just cannot give away penalties like this. If you're trying to get into the Premiership, if you give away penalties like this, you will be destroyed in the Premiership. So bunch trips left, single right. Got
again,
power
same,
right again.
Same play again.
It's a good
Paul
hold.
Richardson's.
Connor Joyce makes the stop over from free safety. Now it's a good play, but on
Paul Richardson was in the
30,
right position. He was just facing the wrong way.
The thing is though, Howard, on 1st and 30, you can afford to give away 7 yards.
Yeah.
No, but
the thing is, we have seen in this game, the Pirates can bust a play for long yards.
Yeah.
This will not faze them one bit.
So we've got 3 men over the top of this trips bunch and a single high. Going long down the sideline for number 5. James Lightbody with a great grab. It was in double coverage. It was decent coverage. You had to adjust for the ball, come inside, and I can't tell you how wet the conditions are here. That was a great individual effort. A beautiful throw by the quarterback.
Right on.
Number 1, Paul Richardson's down. He's obviously taken a lick on that play.
Oh, right on cue there. Told you that East Kilbride Pirates can bust a play for big yards. The quarterbacks had time in the pocket.
Now, importantly though, Howard, they managed to make the tackle after the catch and stop the score. And the Pirates have been down here before and come up with nothing. How about a field goal? We're in the 4th quarter. There can't be that long left.
I've been saying
It's
it all
0-0.
along.
I know you enjoy your field goals. You said to me before the match you had aspirations of being a holder. I did look at you funnily at the time, but
I think you misinterpreted that. I wanted to be the kicker. I'm all about the glory.
so 1st and 10 on the Vikings. 14 gives it, bounces right. Nothing doing, cuts back left. Picks up the buck from the quarterback on Burwell. Burwell chases it down.
Great play by Ducey Burwell.
I mean, the quarterback got half a block on him, but he didn't give up, and he made up a great deal of ground in the open field. Drags him down from behind. Beautiful pursuit, an open field tackle. And
But again, great play by the running back. He's got no joy going to the right-hand side. He's cut back, and he's gone against the flow of the defensive
but the big thing is
players.
he got blocks. The line and all the skill positions kept playing, and that's not the first time we've seen this.
What's happened there is he's turned a busted play into a play again.
You've got to be
3
careful
yards.
that the Vikings don't give up the QB keeper on the read, because there's nobody outside that C gap.
And the running back goes out. Are they going to use him?
Flushed on the
Straight
pocket.
up the middle.
Rolls right. There's another flag in the backfield. Goes to the end zone. He misses him.
And
I
another
think that's
flag
gonna be a hold.
again. And we're going back, I think.
So we've got a second flag thrown right at the end of the play. I'm pretty sure the first flag will be from a hold. I think there might have been a bit of extracurricular from the offensive line of the Pirates, probably through frustration. Number one, Paul Richardson is signalling it was against the Pirates. And oh my God, you cannot give away indisciplined penalties like this when you've got within striking distance.
This Pirates offensive line has really shot themselves in the foot today. They might still come away with the win.
So it's a holding against the Pirates, pushes them back 10 yards.
Multiple flags in play. First one is declined. Second one's assessed. We'll mark that ball back.
I mean, the thing about the holding, it's 10-yard penalty. That's a drive killer. It goes from 2nd and 7. And how long's left? So here we go. We've got timeout from the Pirates. Head coach has got them. We're going to look at something we haven't seen before, off an alignment we've only seen once or twice in the first half.
Oh, he's telling them to be disciplined.
No, I think he's given up on that, Howard. I think he's saying this is the only play we need to execute to win this game. Now, you've still got a get out of jail free card here. It's second. You're on what, the 21-yard line?
Yeah.
We know the QB can throw it in the end zone from this range with accuracy.
We also know the QB can keep a hold of it and run it from here.
Yep. Eight minutes, 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's still tied 0-0. And we're starting to get to the point in this game, Howard, where we're running out of time. Somebody's got to do something or it's going to end up 0-0. And at the moment, the Pirates are really in the steering seat, if that is even a phrase. So bunch trips left, singled out on the right. Let's see if they fancy number 4 in the end zone on a fade. QB looks right. Drops
Snaps
back.
a little bit low. Up in the pocket.
Flushes right.
Paul Richardson on the chase.
Oh! And number 21, Connor Joyce, nearly on the pick. We have a flag.
There's a flag on the play. I think a little bit of jest from the crowd there.
Yeah, the crowd are now cheering the flags. They're wondering if he's not the new signing for the Pirates offense. Jeff Flagg.
Illegal forward pass.
I wonder if was he downfield?
Well, judging by where the flag's placed, it is 1 yard in front of where the line of scrimmage was. And another flag.
Oh, is that for a sideline infraction? Another flag. The holding as well.
Number 14, unsportsmanlike conduct.
So you've given away a flag for an illegal pass. The quarterback's beyond the line of scrimmage. Fair enough. That's in the heat of the play. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, which is another 15 yards.
Well, it looks like that chat about discipline they just had didn't really go to plan.
I'm not sure if number 14 is Antonio Capasso because I don't actually have him on the sheet.
It must be. It might be number 13.
Did we see a number for that flag for the unsportsmanlike? Number 14. We don't actually have his name on the roster. It's the only person we're missing.
Or 14.
Just an X. Yeah, Mr. So it brings up 4th and long. So they're going to play field position and punt it.
I think. Well, is it 3rd and long?
3rd and long.
3rd and 36. I am reliably informed. I haven't counted it myself. Cannot verify it.
I didn't know you could count that high.
I've run
Alex,
out.
do you not just get to 17 and stop
I've run out of fingers and
Confused.
toes.
at 17?
Yeah.
So cover 2 shell. Cornerbacks drop deep
trips to
sort
the
of
left,
prevent. They'll
motion
just let
now.
the Pirates do whatever they want underneath.
2 pulling guards. They're going
So
same
the
play
power
again.
gets squeezed.
And the running back's been brought
Trying to
down.
strip the ball. But more importantly, no flag on the play. I can
There is
report
still-
no flag on the
There
play.
is still time yet.
Yeah.
It's a 4th down for the Pirates. Ball spotted on the Vikings.
So an unusual play call there from the Pirates, electing not to run the flag play.
It's been so effective so far.
So number 33, Greg Atkinson back to punt. He's done a good job so far. He's totally eliminated Matthews from the return game. That is close, a very short punt.
Get away from it, you idiot.
So who have we got? We've got someone down on the floor holding a knee.
Oh, it's number 2, Richie Howe. He's had a reoccurring knee injury. He nearly got to the punt.
Yeah, I mean, he was very close. I think he was the right height. He just came in at the wrong angle, obviously not wanting to clip the punter in case he missed the ball and giving away that important first down.
Very smart decision.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's a real fine line, especially in this game. You give them a set of fresh downs, that could be the game over. So the Vikings get the ball back, 0-0. Probably only 7 minutes left in the game.
So let's see if we can finally see a drive that's put together from the Vikings.
Vikings,
I think it's stopped raining.
as I said, 1st and 10.
For the big grand finale.
1-4 with 7 minutes.
Well, number 81 versus number 27, and on the other side we have press coverage. Free safety's really deep. The Pirates are saying beat us down the sideline. Beat us with the fade, and they've not managed it so far. Throws underneath, nice catch and grab. Immediately tackled by number 24.
So that's a
And this
By
is the
number
thing with this
23, Jacob
defense.
Shotton.
What the Pirates are saying to the Vikings offense is saying, we will give you stuff underneath. You just have to complete 12 or 13 plays in a row without error. That's how you score. And they haven't managed to do it today. But they're just refusing to give up the deep ball purely through pressure and that really deep free safety.
But you've got to think if the Vikings start driving downfield with those short little gains, the Pirates are going to have to come and do something about it.
Rolls left, he's flushed out the pocket, he's looking downfield. The receivers are blocking for him and not trying to get open.
Smart play there by the quarterback. He hasn't done anything stupid, he's just got rid of it.
Bit of a miscommunication from what's supposed to happen there. On that rollout, the receivers should just find space and try and match the quarterback in the direction he's running, so the relative angle doesn't change. But the nearest receiver, number 81, was trying to throw a block to try and get him to run the ball downfield. We've seen number 17 hasn't run the ball effectively today. He's had the chance and he's elected to try and throw it.
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of good runs, but he's trusted his arm more. I think when you've got that space in front of you, take what you've got.
So 3rd and 6, drops back.
There we go, back
Nice.
to number 89.
So number 89.
Ross Conley again. Seems to be the target.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
Receiver.
really sure. He's caught very easy outs underneath. He's caught every single one, and he's made yards in every single tackle. He's been an absolute go-to, and you're just thinking, why are they not trying to hit him more often?
I think there's only one catch that he hasn't made, and that was when he slowed down. He misjudged the flight of the ball.
Yeah.
But everything underneath
As
in
you
that kind
said,
of
I
range.
think the ball was underthrown. You think he slowed down prematurely.
I'll back the
I'm
quarterback.
going to look at the tape, because the tape don't lie, Howard.
I look
Anyway,
forward to the apology.
Press on the outsides again. Vikings do have a tailwind from their left to right. Double blitz, bringing the heat with 6.
Real good play by 27 there for the Pirates.
Yeah, Kerr Stewart had great coverage on that slant underneath. Number 81's a big target, Dion Feather, but he had absolutely nowhere to go there.
Yeah, it was real good play by 27. He stayed on the hip of Dion, and he's batted the ball down right at the end. So that brings up 2nd down.
Stack formation.
Interesting, we haven't seen a flag for a while, Craig.
Haven't seen this formation either. We're going to see these go 4 vert or 3 vert with 1 in the hole. Double blitz. Throws the seam down the sideline.
So 3rd down.
Now, one thing we've not seen the Vikings offense do, which the Pirates have really exploited, we've got a 42 box, cover 1 deep, and man coverage. We're seeing these middle backers go all the time. Who's covering the back out the backfield? Because the Vikings have not thrown to the back out the backfield. There is nobody there. The Pirates are giving up the deep threat. So the guys on the slots are quite deep. If you can complete to 44, who's the first guy tackling him? Because both middle backers
Come up through the
are
middle.
going through the A and the B gaps. Throws it on a corner. I mean, what's happening here is the Pirates are forcing the Vikings to keep that running back into block, but the person who covers the first man out the backfield is one of those 2 blitzing backers.
So is that an adjustment you would make on the sideline? Are you going to?
Oh, absolutely. I would just run him on a flare every time. And even if you just want to kill the pressure, run him on a flare pre-snap, because one of the linebackers cannot blitz.
Yeah.
And if he does step up the blitz, you just instantly throw it out.
Yeah.
Because the guy on the slot has got deep coverage, and the guy at the cornerback's too far to make a stop for anything less than 7 yards. But the Vikings haven't done it at all. You know, Luke Falk threw more yards in NCAA history than anybody else played to air raid. Threw the ball underneath. He's got more passing yards than any quarterback in the NCAA. He took the check down all the time. We've not seen the Vikings take the check down because they've kept that back in, pass protected.
Yeah. Which I think is an adjustment they made, obviously, at half time for the Pirates.
The first time I saw double blitz, I would make that adjustment straight away. Even if in the first half, if they're sending one of those guys with 5 guys, you just check him down to the side the guy's blitzing, because who's covering him out the backfield?
Yeah. So we've seen 1 punt return from the Pirates so far, and it was a pretty good one. So let's see if they can manage to field one here.
So it's a high snap. Oh, number 17 nearly got his fingertips to it.
And he's not going to be able to
Is this
return
going to be the best chase of the game?
And it's down on the 1 yard line.
The half-yard line. So
Fantastic punt, fantastic chase.
The Vikings defense have dragged this team through the season and dug the offense out of a hole many times. Is this going to be the drive where we get a 2-0 safety or some sort of turnover in the end zone and the Vikings once again win it for this team? Because I've seen this Vikings front 7 have caused havoc over the years, and they've got to be sniffing it here, because if you run it inside zone, you're handing the ball off inside the end zone.
Well, as you said earlier, 2 points doesn't do it for the Vikings.
So do we think that we'll see an intentional safety on maybe 3rd down rather than punting it?
Might be a safe play. They did that in the first game.
So we've gone empty, so you've got to defend the field against 5 receivers.
I think we're going to see Ducey
maybe a hard count as well.
They tried to.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get a hard count, try and stop that pass rush.
Quick throw.
Throws underneath. That's really,
I think if Connor Joyce doesn't bite down on that, he picks that off.
It's intelligent play from the Pirates. They know they don't have time. They're in their own end zone. They're not going to attempt to run that inside zone or get tackled in the end zone. You're going to say defend 5, and they're throwing a quick hit and pass.
Yeah. But we've already seen
sometimes a quick completion and a missed tackle, and this can go. I'm still sending the house. Send everybody. Cover 0. Send everybody. Play press. Say beat us on a quick pass when we're rushing 7. I wouldn't even cover the furthest receiver.
And they're going to
Gives
run
it
it
on the zone.
And there's
we've
a
got a
flag
flag.
In the play.
So a
Is that
bunch
gonna be
trips left
holding?
and a handoff. I mean, that was a brave call. Any sort of penetration, and that's a safety. It's probably a holding. Safety. So we've got a tackle in the end zone. We've got a flag against the Pirates. He's declined. He's tackled in the end zone. That's a safety. The score is now 2-0. However, the Pirates lead by 1 point on the head-to-head, but they will now kick it off to the Vikings. So as it stands, the Pirates are losing the game, but winning the head-to-head by 1 point only.
There's some real frustration on the sideline here.
And as far as I know, you cannot score a single point in football without first scoring 6 points before it. And we talked about the sort of mathematical possibility of East Kilbride losing by less than 3 but still winning the head-to-head,
Yeah.
and that's where we are now.
Yeah.
Now,
That shows how.
if it finishes like this and Vikings beat Aberdeen, both these teams are 9-1, but by 1 point in the
East
head-to-head,
Kilbride
East
have the
Kilbride are
head-to-head.
leading. Doesn't get any closer than this, Howard.
Let's see if they can get a return here. It's got to be a good kick.
Is he going to kick it deep or is he going to squib kick it and stop the return? Kicks it
He's gone
deep.
deep.
This is the first time we've seen a return. So
And he's
he's
behind
got a
3 blocks.
reasonable wedge. He's got a bit of space. Finds a seam. He's still going.
Well, I thought he'd broken away there,
All the way
but
up
great.
to the 35-yard line.
That's some good tackling in the end by the Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, the rain stopped, but the Vikings have the win behind them, but they need a score if they're going to come first in this conference. I'm so excited, Mick. I'm going to ask you for a mini shortbread bite.
Vikings offense to take the field here. Let's start out Sweeney Pirate territory. Let's start out at first and 10 on the 34.
Now, at this distance, the free safety starts to become ineffective in covering the seams, because you've seen to get decent coverage against the seam, or the fade, sorry, he's lined up 20 yards deep. He can't get to the sidelines from here. '59 shows blitz, goes to the sideline. That is a beautiful catch
There's a
and
flag on the
probably
play.
defensive pass interference against number 24. So number 24, Aaron Gallagher, was the cornerback, and I think he took a business decision and made sure he wasn't going to bust it for a touchdown. So are we about to see a huge turnaround if the Vikings can score here with a field goal, Howard? I know how you love field goals. With a field goal.
I've got my boots in the car.
I mean, they now have a tailwind, and this is easily within the range.
So what
So
I'll
we've got
do
stacked.
here,
Now, this is a really difficult formation to cover. You've effectively, your free safety's now out the game in the passing game. You've got man coverage. You're going to run some sort of pick play.
we're at money time in the game.
First and goal. Gives it the inside, nothing doing. Now that was a poor play call from the Vikings because they had both receivers block on that. You should have made them run a route and see what the coverage was, because depending on what you do, you've got 2 defenders against 2 guys in a stack formation. Is one of them going to take, so nearest to us, is 27 going to take the outbreak and 21 take the in-break, in which case you break both guys out and
Yeah.
your inside guys beat, or you break both guys in and your outside guys beat. But they didn't do that. They didn't test the coverage. That's a wasted play, because you don't need to block an inside zone on the outside. And now we're out of stack, so maybe we'll see that on third down.
So we've got a
Motion
motion.
left. Gives
the
it
running back,
absolutely
and he's
nothing
down. Some great pressure here by the Pirates. They're really turning up on time.
Well, I'm going to call that poor play design, because your free safety's out of the passing game. It's just an extra box defender now. You're not going to be able to run the ball because they've got an extra guy in the box. Now, Pirates aren't used to playing a cover 2, which is what I would run on defense now.
So here we go. Coach O'Regan, he's getting the offense in. He's going to talk through a play that he wants to run here on third down. So what they've got? 19 yards to go.
Yeah, I mean, but do you have 19, or are you just trying to get 10 yards and give yourself an easy field goal? Or are you going to try and run the ball so you get tackled on the hash, so you're kicking straight down the field?
Yeah.
Because it's easily within range.
I think I think it's a
You know-
tough one. I personally would go into the middle of the field to make the kick easier.
Well, field goal will win it, and you'll win it by 2 points. 2
Yeah.
points a whole season. Notwithstanding, they've got Aberdeen after this.
Yeah.
Game of inches, Howard. Game of inches. So the Pirates are now starting to run out of regular season. As it sits, they're still number 1 in the conference, but they wouldn't take this position from you. 3 minutes and 47 seconds left in the game.
Definitely take the field.
So now they're a bit deeper, you can see the free safety has taken away the
Yeah.
middle.
So let's see what Coach O'Regan's drawn up.
Probably
What's
run a
going on?
smash.
Oh, it's picked off. Oh!
Now,
How important is that going to be?
Now that was a miscommunication there. The QB thought the receiver was breaking out on a corner, and the receiver broke in on a post. You know, he put that ball in the correct position towards the corner of the end zone. There just wasn't a receiver there. So
How
where's that ball
important?
spotted? We're gonna go for a field goal.
How important is that going to be? The corner
difference-
should have picked it off. If he picks it off,
Yep.
Vikings aren't here.
So we're spotting the ball on the 25. We think it's a 7 or 8 yards
So
end zone.
interesting.
So about a 32, 33-yard field goal with a tailwind blowing
Interesting
from there,
choice.
left from
Richie
right.
Howe, number 2. Richie Howe's in to hold. Jacob shot and back to kick.
Good
Snap's
snap,
good.
but
The
it's
kick's
through.
up. And it's good.
And we can see from the sideline it is good.
Jacob shot and slowed it.
5-0 to the Northumberland Vikings, which puts them ahead in the head-to-head by 2 points only. East Kilbride Pirates will get the ball back with just over 3 minutes left.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a more tense game. That's really important now from the Pirates' point of view. They don't get too disheartened. They're still in this game. They could end up beating themselves here if they don't go on the field with the right attitude.
So James Lightbody and Struan Bailey back to return. We've not really seen them do much.
Well, we've seen them before do a good punt return before.
Yeah.
So they just subbed off number 6. So 82 comes on as the second returner.
That is Andrew McBride. But Vikings are kicking with a tailwind.
So they're going to kick from the left hash. What do you do here? Are you kicking it low?
No, I'll kick it as high as I can to get as much tailwind so it actually goes out on a touchback.
So this kickoff team for the Vikings is going to have to put some hustle in
Now
here.
they've spotted the ball all the way on the left hash. I wonder if he's going to kick it straight and just expect the wind to take it into the centre. Give these two receivers a moment's hesitation while they decide who's going to field it. It's a line drive, sits up high.
It's a real good high kick.
Fielded
Fall's going to
about 2
return
yards
it.
out. Cuts it left.
He's broken
Number
a few
81
tackles there.
drags him down, Dion Feather. It's a great atmosphere here, Howard. We've got a big crowd. They're really enjoying the game. Close match.
Well, this is why you play football. For the days like today when there's a big crowd out.
Well, here's the thing. Number 13, Neil Baptiste. You're only losing by 5 points. A touchdown wins everything for you. It's just over 3 minutes. You know, which decent quarterback's not going to say, I'm the man to step forward? He just needs his offensive line to stop holding.
But also, if we go back to the first quarter, when I told you, should they take a field goal when they were deep inside the Vikings territory on 4th down,
So
this game's completely different if that happens.
So we have a mix-up with the Pirates offense. Number 89's off. That's Fraser McDonald. And on in his place is Liam McCrory, number 3. We've got Trips Bunch right.
They're going Trips right. This is what it boils down to.
Playing a dangerous game, the Vikings here.
A low snap, QB gets it off. Oh! And this is the pressure starting to creep in now, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, the QB took the easy hook underneath for 3 with a chance of maybe picking up a few yards after, but
that's normally
number 3 just couldn't hold on to it.
He'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, I mean, Liam McClory was brought on expressly for that play. He's got a different cornerback against him now. He's a bigger guy. Can we see what number that is?
Looks like it could be Jonathan Alton, formerly of the Northumberland Mustangs.
Drops back again.
And the QB rolls out to the right. He's going to
goes
throw
deep.
Connor Joyce picks it. Connor Joyce picks it. Looks like he might have dropped it.
I think he got his hands to it, but on the way down, he didn't manage to keep control and the ball grounded.
They've ruled it incomplete.
Yeah, I think that's a great call by the referee.
Fantastic
he had really
decision.
good position. He managed to catch it, but on the way down, the offensive player pulled one arm off, and
the receiver's done really well there.
Yeah, he fought for the ball there, because that would have been game over.
That is very good football play there.
I believe that was number 4.
So here we go.
James Lightbody get out a jail-free card for his team.
On 3rd and 10.
Stack right. I'm excited, Howard.
So it's interesting, the quarterback's now decided not to run the ball and is back in his arm now. Running back goes on the swing.
Throws the swing out.
Drops it off to him. And that's a good tackle there. He's going to be 2-3 yards short.
I mean, that brings up 4th down. I mean, it stops the clock, but it does bring up 4th down.
You have to go for it.
We've not... have to go. Why do you think that is, Howard? That's a gutsy move, Howard.
That's why I'm not an offensive
We've still not had the
coordinator.
2-minute call, though. We've still not had the 2-minute call. The clock was stopped because it went out of bounds.
I think the Pirates defense will think they can stop the Vikings offense. So, do you think they go punt?
Look at number 4 here, singled out.
Or do you think they go fake punt?
I think they're going to run the ball. They've got a 42 box. Yeah, power right. QB power right. Breaks the tackle, gets a great block downfield for number 4. And gets out of bounds.
Great play by the quarterback.
Number 21, Connor Joyce. That's the first time we've seen him miss all day. He's been everywhere on defense. You know this, though, that by scheme, when your strong safety comes up to make the tackle, that is a beautifully crafted play by the offense. You know, they faked the jet left, they faked the give left, and they had a QB counter right with pulling linemen. Robbie Brumpton, number 53, comes on. Been defensive coordinator today at the outside line, back of position, number 13 going off.
Wonder whether they were targeting number 13. Do you think?
Yeah, because he's the smallest of that second level defence, and we know that he's relatively inexperienced, and we're coming towards the pointy bit of the season. What we've seen as well is a couple of times on those power plays he's been in the right position, but he's just been out muscled. Well, Robbie Brumpton has considerably more weight to him. You know, he can stand up to a guard much better in open field.
Also, Robbie Brumpton's been playing football a long time. He can read the game very quickly. He's going to understand what's going on and maybe give him more chance to get there.
So we're going out spread.
So
back
Ducey
to
Burwell
43,
comes out.
cover 2 man.
Running back goes
Motion
out again.
right. Goes deep down the sideline to 4. Number 21, Connor Joyce picks it
off
up.
by Connor Joyce. He's made up for his missed tackle.
And I mean, that was underthrown because the QB, the ball was about 9 yards inside. If you're going to exploit the cover 2, it has to be on the sideline. Number 21 stepped up, read it perfectly. Great set of hands. I think he slipped. He was wanting more of a return, but...
So is that the game? Connor Joyce has done very well for his defence there.
There is no way that the defence of the East Kilbride Pirates are going to stop here. They're going to try... cause a turnover. They're going to put pressure on that centre with a double A gap blitz, maybe get a bad snap. Every time they're going for a tackle, they're going to be trying to strip the ball. They're going to go for the pick. They're going to play gamble now.
I think East Kilbride have 2 timeouts left.
I mean, it's me.
And the 2-minute warning.
But they've still got that deep cover 1. Put him in the box and blitz him.
Yeah.
You've got to put pressure. You've got to make something happen, because if you don't make something happen, the game's over. You cannot stop the deep bomb. You've got to gamble. You've got to be thin somewhere.
So
you've got to trust your cornerback.
We've seen the Vikings offense come up well last drive. Let's see if they can do it again. A lot of noise from the sideline.
Double blitz, gives it on the zone. That's, I mean, it eats up the time.
And there we go, timeout for the Pirates.
Brought down the backfield for loss. Little surprise here. Pirates go with a timeout.
Again, the Vikings have the tailwind behind them.
Let's use our
How much of a factor is that going to be?
Well, if they don't make the first down, they're going to punt it. You know, having that tailwind, giving it that extra distance. The Vikings have won the punting game today. They have gained more yards on each punt, which especially in the first half when they did nothing, it kept them in the game. You know, we saw a safety off a punt that was downed at the half-yard line. There's 2 points. I mean, that 2 points didn't actually change the course of the game at all, but it made the Pirates break down and make mistakes.
Let's go, defense!
Double blitz.
Run the ball!
That's some good hard running there. I know he hasn't got very far.
Another timeout. So I wonder if that's their last or they still have one remaining.
That's the last of their timeouts. 2-1-1 left in the game. The Vikings are winning by 5 points.
2 point on the head-to-head. Second
Currently,
is that third and 11. Got stack formation. So maybe we're going to see this play from stack formation. Not so good because they're in the centre of the field. You'd really want to run it to the widest side.
a lot of noise. They're trying to get a mistake here from the Vikings.
59 shows blitz fumble.
Oh, well. Interesting that there's no late hit there.
I think there's a foul for that.
He was down. He was definitely down.
Yeah, I think we'll call him a defenceless player because he did have the ball covered and he was fully down. But
And this is where the frustration cuts in here for the Pirates.
But what we've got is no more timeouts. If that goes against the Pirates, it's an automatic first down, which means game over. Because you can run out 30 odd seconds. You've got 2 minutes. And number 44, Matty Thompson, covered the fumble.
Be interesting to see what they call here.
It'll be a personal foul because he's defenceless. Unfortunately, he's receiving absolutely no medical attention. He's just got some sort of neck or spinal issue. We'll just let him lie outside in the rain.
So here's a scenario then. A safety for EKP gets it to back to 3 points.
Yeah, it still gives the Vikings the head. Well, so the head-to-head would be
Would be a
level.
points conceded, yes. So you're right, yeah. So what's that against the Vikings? So what we got there, Coach?
So it's a penalty against the Vikings. I didn't see what the call was, but it's going to bring up fourth down, and they'll have to punt.
So it's a real interesting decision there, or call from the referee, because Matty Thompson, the running back, was definitely down on the floor before the defensive player came through and hit him.
Yeah, in the defensive player's defence, he doesn't know whether he's secured the ball or not. If the ball's insecured, he's going towards the ball. Now, from our vantage point, we could see clearly from the side that he'd covered the ball, but that's from where we are. the defensive player's coming at a perpendicular angle to us, and he's not got sight of the ball, so we can't see whether he's downed it or not.
So this is pushing the ball back here to
It'll
the
be half
6
distance,
6 yard line.
They'll give them about 13 yards to punt from,
Which is
12 and a half, which you need a perfect snap. However, if it goes out the end zone and it's a safety, it's 3-0 up, which ties up the head-to-head, and the Vikings would win it, probably, providing
depending on
on
next
points
week, yeah.
conceded, providing they don't lose 40 points to Aberdeen Roughnecks next week. So we're just being asked about MVPs, but
I think
very,
we
very
have
easy
to. I think
for
we're
me.
going to have to wait until the end before we decide.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think
You're saying there could be an MVP-worthy play about to unfold in the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds?
you never know.
So the rain has picked up again, just as we take this injury timeout.
So does this pause in play, does this benefit the Vikings or does it benefit the Pirates? What you think?
It benefits the Vikings entirely because they're the ones that have got to come out and punt. And that's a pressure play when you're near your own end zone.
Yeah.
So the longer you have to settle down, it won't play on the minds that you're icing them. It just, you can get everybody ready. You've got all 11 guys, you know your job. You should have your long snapper on the sideline firing out 7 or 8 snaps right now, so he's going to go out there hot and he's going to rifle a perfect snap.
Yeah.
Now clearly they're not doing that. However, you might say that's a good idea to do currently. So thankfully Mike Thompson seems to be getting up under his own volition.
Yeah, that's good to see. It's better to be cautious with injuries like this. There's no point in rushing him up.
No.
Coach O'Regan's coming on to try and give him a hand off.
Yeah, he's moving very gingerly. I wonder if he's had a knock to the head there. It looks like he might have... still looks quite woozy on his feet. So the rain's picked up again. Wind's a bit stronger as well. It's tailwind left to right for the Vikings.
Right to left.
From their left to their right.
Who's?
As they kick the Vikings, they're kicking the ball.
Is that the other right?
Number 4, James Lightbody, back to return.
So Jacob Shotton's punts have been pretty good so far. The rain is absolutely chucking it down
Well,
now.
in such a close game, I would say that the best play the Vikings have had has been their punt. The punt has won them field position,
Yep.
and the go-ahead score was off field position.
Yep.
And when they've been in a hole, it's dug them out of the hole time and time and again. Their defense has stopped everything, but that comes down to field possession. Your defense, if you give them decent field position, they'll stop every score. If you give up rubbish field position, even the best defense eventually breaks. So the rain really starting to pick up now.
So do you try and punt this as far as you can, or just stop the return?
Stop the return. No explosive plays. No, your defense hasn't given up a score all game. They gave up 1 touchdown last game. From 40 yards out with 2 minutes, you would back them to stop the score.
Well, this rain as well is also going to make a field
Throwing
goal.
the football.
A field goal from East
any
Kilbride.
sort of handling.
Yeah. So they're going to have to go for it. Here we go. They break the
So,
huddle.
and just as they break from the huddle, it's like a monsoon out here. The crowd's getting loud. It's a low bubble snap. He's chasing, just gets it away.
That is a great punt from what happened.
And it rolls out of bounds at about the 37-yard line.
Jacob Shotton's done extremely well there to get rid of that
Oh
ball.
man alive, he was lucky he didn't get swamped. As he picked it up, he sort of mishandled it and managed to grab it on his thighs.
I think he catched it. He caught the ball between his legs. He then scooped his hands underneath and somehow got the kick off.
It was like watching Kill Bill with Uma Thurman doing a low kick. So
Here
the
we
rain
go.
really coming down.
Let's
You've got to
see.
feel for this Pirates offense trying to move the ball in these conditions. It's absolutely dreadful.
They're going to have to pass it. They're going to have about They're going to have about 2 minutes. I think we still haven't had the 2-minute warning. Here we go.
So 1st and 10.
The sideline trying to quieten the crowd down. I need calm composure. Running
QB
back
keeps
takes
it
it
on the
middle.
power left, finds a seam. Jumps left. Breaks the tackle. That's enough for a first down.
However, he is still in bounds. The clock is still running.
Clock stops while the chains are reset, though, in NCAA rules. Number 57 had a chance of grabbing him, Jonathan Alton, but couldn't hold on.
Here we go. It comes down to this.
Cornerbacks for Vikings playing it really soft. Don't want to give up that deep bomb.
They've got to send him. Here we go. Put the pressure on the
And they're
quarterback.
looking deep, but the coverage is perfect. 21's there.
Oh, 21 trying to pick it off. Connor Joyce.
And I mean, number 8, Dick Carr was that number 2.
Number 2, Richie
Howe.
Howe.
I think
Great
if
play
he had,
at the
if he
back
hadn't got his
there.
hands to it, number 21, Connor Joyce, might have picked it. He read it instantly. That was a really poor play choice by the Pirates. When you saw how deep the secondary was, you have to throw underneath and spike the ball. You've got to pick up 10, 12 yards because then you can get it in the end zone next time. So the clock stops, brings up 2nd and 10 on the 24.
Gives it to the
QB
running back.
keeps up the
No,
middle,
QB
bounces
goes
left
up.
again. Nothing doing this time. Picks up about 1.
He's still in
He's
bounds.
still in bounds. That is fortunate for the Vikings. The clock keeps running. Brings up 3rd and 9. 4 down territory now. Are they going to run the quick out to number 8?
So 2 stops here for the Vikings.
Yeah, they've got to throw underneath it. You've got to pick up 7 or 8 yards. When you can run this, running out and have the outside guy block. Gives up the middle.
Interesting play choice there.
Not enough for a first. And it's
Oh, and the Vikings come away with the ball. The whistle was blown
whistle
early.
was blown.
Do see Burwell trying to return it to the house.
Now does that stop the clock because the whistle's blown? And the referee signals keep the clock running. They need to spot the ball and get going. Ball spotted.
Ducey needs to get back here. So we're going
Just
4th
4th
and
and
3.
3. This is the season. Sorry, this is the game for the Pirates. And if they don't get a first down here, they'll go through a 2nd place. QB rolls right on the keeper. There's a flag.
There's a flag on the play. Looks like it's a block in the back on Josh Tucker, number 55.
So who do you think threw the block there? So we think there's a flag against East Kilbride Pirates for a block in the back.
And as you can hear, the crowd's not very happy.
Great run by the QB, managed to get out of bounds after picking up the first down. But
The flag is on East Kilbride.
so I have a player down on the sideline. Can you see the number there, Howard? I think it's number 20, Thomas McKean, has been playing their cornerback today. So if this is against EKP,
It is against them. The referee
they have to accept the penalty because if they decline it, it'll be a first down.
Yeah.
So blocking the back will be 10 yards, bring up 4th and 13.
Oh, here we go. The head coach of the Pirates is getting them in, trying to calm them down. Let's just execute this one play and they could come away with the win.
Now, you're the defensive coordinator. Are you trying to stop the score or stop the first down? Because in stopping the first down, you give them a chance of scoring.
It's a tough one. That's why I'm glad I'm not the defensive coordinator.
Stop the first down.
What would you do?
It's,
Would you
it's
stop the
easier
first
to
down?
pick up a first down than it is a score. So
Yeah.
you stop the easiest thing. Make them beat you by doing the hardest play there is. Especially in this, I mean, the rain and the wind.
I know we've mentioned the conditions. It has been a very tough game.
Yeah, I mean,
For both sides,
the
they've done
quality of the
extremely
passing game
well.
for both these teams is in this horrendous conditions. It's
Well,
actually been really, really
yeah.
good. You know, it's not been a day for throwing the football.
So again, we've got another long delay here with an injury on the sideline.
Yeah, Thomas McKean is sitting up now. So we've got number 81 on in his place. That's Dion Feather.
Normally a wide receiver.
Yeah, it's coming in cornerback.
He's played at corner before this season.
Does he play university football?
Not entirely sure. I think, yeah, he came from Morecambe.
Came from Morecambe based
Yeah.
He may have played Stirling a while back.
Right. Well, he's fit into this offense pretty well.
I think the wide receivers for the Vikings really complement each other real well. So you've got Jacob Shotton, who is the speed guy. You've got Jordan Matthews, who can bang, but also shows that he's a speed guy as well from these punt returns. You've then got Dion, who's obviously got the natural height, and then you've got Ross Conley, who comes in and adds a little bit of brute strength to that wide receiver core.
So Thomas McKean's now stood up. Seems to be holding his back a bit. Well, Mick, how many times are you going to drag me along to a game where, with seconds left, it's still not decided? We seem to be quite lucky on that front.
Well, it's what we come for, isn't it? I mean, ideally there would have been a lot more scores, but good defence. But I think today has been mainly about the flags and the indiscipline of both teams, to be honest. But it's Vikings just seem to have that knack of just not closing it down.
Yeah, I mean, we've not had a touchdown in this game, and yet it's still been a great game to watch in terms of being so close. So we've got a quarters coverage.
Does it come down to this?
Are you gonna throw the hook for 10 yards and a first down in the outside? Outside man's uncovered. He throws underneath.
Oh, and he's dropped it.
Oh, and he knew what that meant.
I think that's the game.
Yeah, I mean, no timeouts left for the Pirates. We've got a minute and a bit left. Vikings will kneel it out.
Well, number 4 is going to be disappointed there. But again, we've got to highlight these conditions.
Yeah, and I mean, one play doesn't make the game, Howard. There was plenty other mistakes being made by both teams all game long. That was not the defining mistake. 10 holding calls from the offensive line probably had something to do with it
I know
as well.
it's easy for us to stand up here and say that, but I think number 4 will definitely think that he should have done better there.
Yeah, but the question is, if he catches it, is he got enough to get the extra 4 yards after the catch to make the first down?
Well, we're talking.
He was breaking in towards the backers.
We're talking about the conditions here. The only real hope for the Pirates here is the Vikings.
So what you need, I mean, this is one of the challenges of modern football. What you need is an under centre snap now. Yeah, these are shotgun.
I don't think we're going to see an under centre snap. I think that.
I think the Pirates are shaking hand. Let's not do anything stupid. The game's over. Both teams have got playoff football to look forward to.
We've heard that before.
But East Kilbride are now going to have to travel down to Sandwell, and the Vikings will stay at home.
And I think that's going to be it, unless they're going to make them do it one more time.
They might make them do it one more time. Yeah, and that's the game.
And that's the game. Absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, 0-0 till deep in the fourth. A safety and a field goal. Howard, your first shot at punditry, you kept going on about a field goal. A field goal was enough to win the head-to-head and win the match. So,
I think obviously the Vikings are going to be extremely pleased with that performance. But East Kilbride, they've got to hold their heads up high here. The only thing that's really let them down is their offensive line and the ill discipline, really.
So Howard, I'm going to give this one to you. You called it on a field goal. It was a safety and a field goal. You were pretty close. They won the head-to-head. Who is your MVP for today's match?
Well, I think there's been some fantastic players on both sides, but when it came down to
before you announce it, I'm just going to do another shout-out to number 59, Gordon Wallace, a middle linebacker.
He's had an absolutely fantastic game.
Once again, he was an absolute scourge of the Vikings offense. He disrupted stuff.
Yeah, I think looking at it overall, when the pressure situations were on, his punts were absolutely unbelievable. That, as you say, that's what led to the safety being
Special teams won
called.
it.
Special teams won it, and it's only right that the MVP for the game goes to number 23, Jacob Shotton, for his field goal.
Superb.
And everything else he's done in the game. Mainly the field goal.
He brought water on it sometimes as well, didn't he, when people were thirsty.
He did a fantastic job of that.
So, Our next match should be next weekend.
Yeah,
at
next
home
Sunday at home against
Aberdeen Roughnecks. Now, if it goes to form, Vikings should win that, which will put them tied at top on 9-1 with East Kilbride Pirates, but they will take the head-to-head courtesy of 2 points, and they will stay at home as number 1 seeds in this conference, with the East Kilbride Pirates travelling to the Sandwell Steelers, and the Vikings will either be hosting Lancashire Wolverines or Shropshire Revolution, and we'll have to have a look at those fixtures. So I think that wraps us up. Howard, any final words?
No, I'm just incredibly proud of the performance.
Do you want to have a little chat with our number 23 MVP?
Yeah, we'll have a chat with him.
Do you want us to go over by the camera, Mick? So if you just swing the camera around. No, Howard, you stand on the bottom step. You're the tallest. He goes in the middle.
Am I coming down here? Yeah. You want to go in the middle? Yeah.
You go on the edge. You're the tallest.
Right, when you're ready.
Right, we're joined by number 23 game MVP, Jacob Shotton. Jacob, it was a close game. Pretty much as close as you could get. We said, will special teams win it? A great punt with a great chase that put them on their own half-yard line, which led to a safety, 2-0. Enough to win the game, but not enough to win the head-to-head. You're still trailing by 1 point. And then Howard called it. Would it be a field goal? You stepped up, kicked a field goal, 5-0. It gives you the victory and the head-to-head. And currently you're now sat first place in the division. How does that feel?
Fantastic. The boys have worked really hard all year. Like I say, hard work's finally paid off. We've got where we need to be. Last game, obviously, 8-5, I think the score was. It was very close, but this time we pulled through and we got the result I think we deserved, and rightly so. I mean, we still got a job or two against Aberdeen, but yeah, no, fantastic. Enjoying the moment.
And right at the end there, you were backed up in your own end zone. The ball skiffed along the floor.
Yeah.
You had to trap on your thighs. There was a 3-man rush coming. You didn't panic, and you managed to just toe poke it and get it to the 40-yard line. What was going through your mind there?
I probably can't say it on camera, but I know it's very tense. But no, happy it came off in the end. That's why we practice.
So the punt, I think the punt won it for you guys today. You gained territory every time the teams exchanged punt. What were you guys saying in the huddle? Because there was a couple where it was close to getting blocked, but we didn't have one blocked. But most importantly, you stopped their return men.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's the surface and the weather. It's hard to get your feet under you. It's hard for the guys to sort of kick, step, block, get their release on. But no, I mean, everyone played their heart out. It just came down to sort of that raw energy. Everybody trying to dig in, and thankfully it came off for us. We managed to get enough in.
So Jacob, the last game against this team, we lost by missing a field goal.
We did several.
What was going through your mind when that field goal came out? When the call came in from Coach O'Regan, says we're going for a field goal.
I mean, yeah. So last game was a tough one, special teams performance-wise. But Kev trusts me, trusts the unit, so. I've got to put faith in that and put faith in myself, and you just got to play it one game at a time, one kick at a time, and thankfully that one came off.
Well, congratulations, you've been selected as the MVP of today's game, so
cheers,
congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well done, Jacob.
See you boys.
So we're just bringing Mick Tyler to close the game out.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, let's have some unbiased opinion there. Howard, what do you think? How do you feel? It means you get to play another game?
Yeah, I think the performance from both teams really was unbelievable, especially looking at the conditions that are here today.
Yeah.
East Kilbride, obviously a very, very good team, and it was obvious from early on that the two standout teams in this division were going to be the Vikings and the Pirates.
I think what's probably going to be most interesting is to see how either or both teams match up against Sandwell.
Yeah, it'll be. So Sandwell they've averaged 50 points a game. I'm not entirely sure what the final score was.
I think it was 48.
For today.
I think. Yeah.
So they've averaged like obviously a lot of points. But have they come up against a defense as good as the Pirates or as good as the Vikings?
I don't think they have. No.
That'll be the test.
Okay, right. Well, thank you very much, gents. Thanks for your first attempt.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We might ask you back again, but not under the same circumstances.
I'm going to retire.